Welcome to the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. You're joining us for this week's broadcast of Esports Tower Rumble, this day in Overwatch. Broadcasting, ready to bring you all of the top high school talent that we have to bring you. It's going to be a very great week with a lot of great teams. And I'm your host, Jacob Jem Palmer. I'm going to be joined by Artie Nerdy Rain to call all of the action for you today. And it's going to be great to have you here, Nerdy. It's always great to kind of see what is kind of the new talent that's entering the Overwatch, because remember, Maxwell used to be an Esports Tower player and is now with Boise State. So overall, if you're looking at the high school level, what are you looking for from players that's most promising in terms of skill?
I mean, skill is one thing. It's sometimes a little bit hard to fully judge that when it comes to watching these Esports Tower matches. However, the other thing that is really important to stand out for us is the ability to adapt. Do we see these people swapping to heroes when it's beneficial to their team composition, or are we seeing them kind of swap randomly, because that can be a kind of an indicator that they're more of a solo player versus a team player? And it's really important when you're going into the college level that you are a team player 100%, because those solo player mentalities can be a killer of team play at this level. And so that's one thing. And then also, like, we're looking to see how well that person operates within the group as a whole, because if we see them taking a bunch of 1v1s, odds are, yes, in this case, it'll be a winnable situation, but that can be such a punishable offense the higher you go up, and not something you want to be doing all the time.
Well, let's take a look just at the rules and how everything is going to work today. The matches that we are going to be highlighting are going to be still 6v6 competitive. A best of 3 control, hybrid, and escort is how it's going to work out. We can also showcase overall just the teams that will be participating and what our first matchup is going to be, because we have a lot of great mix of Esports Tower teams themselves and also just local high schools. It seems from the matchup that I am seeing, it is going to be the Esports Tower Flares versus Meridian Technical that's going to be first up on the docket. And before we get to their match, we will leave them with Doc's keys to the game in Overwatch, and that's never to take a fair fight, and that means to take fights in unexpected places when your opponents are unprepared, and take advantage of any tempo you can get. That's Doc's Keys Game, brought to you by Esports Tower. Score pro advice at esportstower.com. Improve your game sense, improve your team play, and improve your performance under pressure. You'll get matched with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up. Getting ready to head into the first match that we have here tonight. This is going to be Meridian Technical that is going to be joining us. We've seen them a bit before, kind of a local team with a lot of great kind of, one of the benefits of kind of a local team is that they live in the same geographical region and get to meet each other a lot more.
Yeah, that's true. I really hope that that shines through just a tiny bit, because having kind of more of that family camaraderie can be an advantage. However, I don't know how much of an advantage that can be when you're going against a team from Esports Tower, because Esports Tower kids pull through. They have a lot of experience as well as a lot of time together, despite the geographical differences that they'll experience throughout the course of being in that program. So it's still a 50-50 toss-up as to who's going to come out on top.
And there also is a thing of kind of being a little too chummy. You know, sometimes you're just you have such great friends you're playing with, but you don't take the match seriously and you're just joking around. And you always need to be able to focus into that more serious mindset. So like I said, it's going to be the Flares versus Meridian Technical. We're ready to head into the first match of this best of 3. Ready to hop into the first stage, which is going to be Control, starting out on Ilios.
All right, so if we look at the Flares composition here, it's that Reaper dive. It can be great for almost any map, so long as you are really working as a cohesive unit. Strong thing is to make sure that the Lucio is basically, instead of facilitating the main tank like you would with the Reinhardt comp, but facilitating the Reaper in these cases more often, as well as D.Va and Tracer working together. We're looking at the Meridian technical side. We've got the Pharah Mercy comp. I think there also was maybe a Lucio speed boost out of spawn. We are looking at the side of the Flares currently, so we couldn't see that, but there was a swap off Lucio over to the Pharah. Their comp is going to be significantly slower. Typically, you do see that D.Va with the Rein nowadays. However, we've got the Zarya Reinhardt combo, but their support is quite stacked, and we also can see that the Flares are doing a standard rotation into Cage here on the left, so we'll see if that works out for them.
See Soup just peppering some damage here right now on this Pharah Mercy. It's kind of forcing them right now into close quarters. Already going to get one pick onto their Reaper. Some Meridian Technical using that. They tried to get onto the point, but they only got about halfway in their charge. But they are forcing a lot of space away from the Flares.
Pharah is doing quite a bit of damage, and unfortunately for the side of the Flares, they don't have a lot of pressure on that Pharah. They have D.Va to do it, but D.Va's going to take a lot of damage quickly, so they have to get in and get out quite a bit, and Pharah is just soloing down onto a lot of these players here for technical, so perhaps Flares may want to make a composition swap off that Reaper and instead go over to a more hit-scan style DPS player here soon. Otherwise, Soup is just going to continue to eat this other team alive.
Yeah, both their DPSs are so close range here. I don't know, you throw the orb out as the Moira and just hope for something. Nova is saying, hey, this is what a long-range DPS can do, and is going to get one pick against their Moira. Right now, Soup also is sitting on this barrage, can unleash so much against the Flares. Is already forcing. It looks like we've tried to see a little bit of a flank be brought out there by their Tracer, but it isn't going to work. Here goes the barrage, I think. Waiting for the shield to go down.
Right in front of D.Va, doesn't matter.
And overall, though, it's not going to pick up anybody. Eliminations being traded back and forth, and Flares managing to pick up some. So now the Law and Swiffer are gone.
Ooh, the Moira beam. I mean, it wasn't the orb, but the beam works out.
Sure, that's long range. So using what you have.
Yeah, I think at this point, though, I mean, we've got the Reaper 66% on ult. Sometimes it's just better to burn it and swap. I mean, there is no genuine combos coming out with that Reaper ult either. So at this point, honestly, swap over to a soldier or even a Widowmaker, because there is no dive really that's going to be putting pressure on a Widow from the side of Meridian Technical onto a DPS from the Flares, unless it's the Pharah, in which case the D.Va can help out in that focus. We do see the Pulse Bomb go off as well, and the Law is going to go down as Valk gets popped.
Zondo's with that first pick as Soup almost gets taken down, and that's really a great pick for the Flares. The one thing that can go against their squad has been completely taken out, and everything is piled on from there on out. Soup is trying to even it up, though, but right now the Flares continue to maintain control of the point.
Daydream's been doing a fantastic job of just pocketing the Pharah here. Quite often in past games, Daydream will split off from their DPS and try to do a little bit too much damage as a Mercy player. Instead, just being in their Pharah's pocket is a great demonstration of how much Daydream has grown lately, and it's been paying off. But right now, ET Flares have managed to pass Meridian Technical as far as point control goes, and we're inching closer and closer to that 30-second mark, and Tracer Panda out for blood takes down 2.
He's going to recall, he'll back up and be able to take out, and he's able to take out the Law as well.
Spicy!
What a play from Panda, being quite a threat against Meridian Technical, and the Flares are now past 85.
Panda also did a significant amount of damage to the Pharah in the fight prior to that one, and it was just like, Nerdy, shut up. I don't need to go genuine hit scan. I can just be a Tracer and be a demon in the back line regardless. We also see that, unfortunately, the Immortal was popped quite early. The bomb's going to go off. Is it going to pick up? Yes, it's going to pick up Scoop. Absolute's going to go down to the Primal Rage happening and just getting juggled around. Daydream's going to pop Valk. Let's see if they'll sustain. They'll be able to. They're trying to res. This could be dangerous. It is. But Zarya is up, and I think Zarya is very close to their ultimate. No, they popped it earlier, so never mind. It does look like the Flares will walk away with the round 1 win.
Well, a bit of surprising, but they managed to pull it off.
I still, honestly, and you can counter me on this one, I feel like the Flares, while Reaper is a strong pick into some comps, I feel like this Reaper's not getting as much value as they could be here, and a different DPS might be better suited.
No, I agree with you there. I think Panda's good enough on the Tracer, though. I think one thing, and this is a great thing to look at here, is there's a lot of time that they aren't focusing this Tracer down as a team. There's only one person turning around. I've been counting out sometimes it's 3 or 5 seconds before someone even turns around at that to notice the Tracer. So it seems like the thing of being able to call out the flanks and respond to them is something Meridian Technical should improve on.
Yes, and here we also see that we've got the Bat Mercy, honestly, without any sort of movement heroes that can get a Mercy out of a sticky situation fast. Daydream might want to swap over to a Lucio. We do see the Flares have the Lucio Bat, which means they've got a significant amount of movement, and they also have that D.Va who's just going to be able to eat so much damage coming from those hit scans.
Now as both teams get toward the first contest, Flares are positioning themselves to get on the point first as they slowly rotate around. And Absolute Nova taking a bit of a chip damage right there, is going to go down to half health, but is able to heal back up as Fulcrum's going to be the first one to get onto the point. ET Flares take it, but the question is for how long?
Yeah, unfortunately, I feel like this is just a slight composition change could make such a huge difference. Lucio is facilitating Fulcrum to do so much and take so much space, whereas the Law is being forced into a corner and at the will of the other team because they don't have that advanced speed here. We are inching close to a lot of ultimates on both sides, but I'm interested to see how that Baptiste from the Flares pops their amplification matrix, because if they do it just to be a DPS hero, it might not be the best idea.
Swap being brought out from the Law, was hovering over the Diva, now is going to try the Winston instead. There's also Daydream, looks like they're going to be on the Lucio as a swap as well, as Flame Strike is going to head out from Fulcrum. Meridian Technical trying to make space for themselves, but like you said, Nerdy, this Amp Matrix could provide a lot of damage. We also see, speaking of damage, the Deadeye is also being brought out here, but neither of these teams is really using their ultimate. There goes the Deadeye trying to peek out from behind this shield, but they all just kind of get out of the line of sight and wait for it to be mowed down. Now they're going to move on to the point. They're going to throw their flashbang out. There goes the visor out from Panda. Immortality Field keeping the Flares alive, and there's a boop off the edge onto the Law. Fulcrum also eliminating Soup. That looks like it's going to be another hold.
So looking at the comp swap that just happened, Meridian Technical is now running a half double bubble comp. I say that because this typical support lineup you have is a Brigida and a Ana, because you need an insane amount of heals going into your tanks when running double bubble, and Baptiste and Lucio is just not enough. We now see the Moira swap happening, and playing that into a Diva that's as strong as Zondal's can be quite difficult, because that means those orbs are just not going to stay on the field for a very long time, especially when they're thrown in the middle of a fight or prior to the start of the fight. We also have Scoop making the swap to the Doomfist, and we have a Cassidy waiting on the side of the Flares. However, Panda Squad did go down, so right now Meridian Technical is up by 1. Beat gets dropped though, and we're looking at Boop off the edge. Lucio picks up 1, and Joy also picks up another, so King will go down. I think this might be another one in the bag for this ET Flares. The self-destruct goes off, but it don't matter. The boop onto Scoop is going to make Scoop go down.
The boop onto Soup. I like it. I like it very much. That's the, write that down. That's the start of a new lyrical number from you.
Swoop-de swoop, boopity scoop.
Well, while Nerdy's working on their latest musical opus, let's just take a step back and kind of look at everything that happened there, because I thought Meridian Technical was starting out great. They had this great Farm Mercy that was picking up picks left and right. They had 2 close-range DPSs, but ET Flares found a way to make it work with the Tracer.
Well, at the end of the day, playing heroes you're comfortable on and what seem like they work well together is only half the battle. A huge portion of Overwatch is like, yes, your supports can work well together, but do they work well together with your tank composition and your DPS composition? Whereas the supports that we did see come out from Meridian Technical could go well together, they were not ones that could facilitate their teammates in the forms of the tanks and the DPS, whereas the ET Flares had supports that were meant to do that. And so that's something that everyone needs to keep an eye on when they're doing these types of composition swaps. You can't do a half-Z swap with the intent of popping an ultimate, because there was 2 fights there where there was a half swap and an ultimate was just held onto from the fight 2 fights prior.
Yeah, that's one thing that was interesting to kind of see off guard, kind of stepping down from the collegiate level of Overwatch. It's just seeing how long some of these ultimates were hung onto. And granted, you don't want to, just be panic pressing the ultimate to use it, but you usually don't see it held for more than one engagement.
And that is very true. And now we're going to be going on to the ever-so-loved Scrims row. So looking at this, we do kind of have an old-fashioned style comp coming out of the Flares in the form of that Baptiste Ana. That was a composition that was very popular 2 years ago, but has not been very popular since changes have come out for this. Excuse me, hiccups. For the side of Meridian Technical, we have the Ana and Mercy with a Roadhog and the Reinhardt. That can be super powerful, especially considering the Flares do not have any form of speed, but the stuns might be deadly if Scoop does not protect the either the Ana or the Reinhardt going into that Doomfist coming out from the flares.
Yeah, I've kind of seen some different comps be brought out here, the Esports Tower level. I don't know the last time I haven't seen Mei brought out on King's Row, but here we go. Flares are going to pick up 2 right away. A Soup and Jeeber is going to be taken out. A Flame Strike is also going to eliminate Absolute, and that's going to be the first point taken.
We do see that Daydream unfortunately got themselves staggered a little bit, so the retake here is going to be borderline impossible. One of the things that you want to look for is just, well, sorry, not Daydream, it was Minx? Pyromix. We're just going to call you Pyro in reminiscence of the old Pyro we once had here. Take it as a compliment, I promise. But you don't want to get staggered that hard. If the fight is lost on this point, you just need to die immediately and reset. And do not stagger forward like we just saw happening, because you want to have the opportunity to have a full 6-man squad up and go straight up to the archway and hold there. But now that people are pushing out when they don't have a full squad, it's going to make it very difficult because it's easy pickings for the other side. We just saw the sleep go off. And Joy, I don't know how you lived, but your Reinhardt is a god, and I hope you thanked them for protecting you there.
Yeah, 7 health. He only had 7 left, and now he's going to probably get his revenge here as he's looking to pull off a sneaky tire here.
Big tire, big tire,
and
big
here
tire.
we go, right
big
into the
tire,
back line. There it goes, a triple!
Absolutely massive, and going for more. You're bloodthirsty, Junkrat. This is what I like to see. You are so bold, and your Reinhardt is following you up. The Doomfist is in there as well. Oh my goodness, just a bloodbath. I hope that's play of the game.
It has to be, especially after you survive. They were so close to eliminating him, so it's like a perfect remember me scenario.
For real. And then we, honestly, this is incredible because the Flares are pulling a strategy that we've seen used so many times. And Zondals, thank you for being a team player. You're chilling out on the payload. I saw you waving, just being like, hi, you guys can do all the work, but you're going to have that gold medal in payload time, and your teammates can remember they would not be able to do any of this if you were not there. And yes, that diva did also just say hello to remind you they're there. They're just not on our screen or doing anything involved with the fight. They're just doing the important thing, the payload. Oh my god!
That's a great shatter there, and the mine is going to be thrown out in response on the law. But Chu is traded back from Soup, so it is even technically, and Soup with a triple, despite that initial show he played by the Flares.
There's another tire coming up.
There is.
I feel it in my bones.
It's going to have to be an ego match. Who has the better tire?
I think so, and we do. With the beat drop, it's an opportunity for you to go use this tire. Please do it, Joy. I'm begging you. Drop a tire, make it huge, make it flashy.
Oh, he's waiting. He's being patient.
He sees the opportunity. He's in the perfect position to
there
stay
it
alive.
is.
Yes. Oh my gosh, are you gonna? Oh, the ego! Oh, Joy, that was incredible! You're so lucky no one called you out. I'm gonna be real, that was bold as heck. You should have just stayed up there to drop the tire, but you're like, nah, I'm gonna be right here with you when it happens.
Just so I can get the best possible view.
Like, honestly,
I mean, he could have stayed up here and been fine.
Right here, like right in this corner is where I thought they were gonna drop it. No, no, they got to go all the way in and make sure. Like, that was a bold move.
I love the meteor strike just as the exclamation point, like just to make sure no one is going to survive here.
Oh my gosh, that was beautiful.
Well, 4 minutes 45 seconds in the overtime.
That's a lot of time in the bank. I would love to see. I want Meridian Tactical to get all 3 of these points and do it with almost the same amount of time. Yes, that does mean everyone's times are going to get dropped down around the 2-minute mark. That's totally fine. Oh, no.
Wait a minute.
Are we seeing the Statue of Pain come out right now from Meridian Technical?
Statue of Pain, Statue of Liberty, whatever you want to call it.
All right. I appreciate that. As a fellow Idahoan general vicinities type person, I appreciate it.
Yeah. I mean, everyone in this general vicinity is going to hold Statue of Liberty in a cherished spot in their memories.
The one thing I will say is that if Pando has watched the usage of the Statue of Liberty, I call it pain because it could be so painful. And yes, also shout out to Northwoods because they're the creators of that originally. If Pando has seen this play used before, and Diva sees it coming, hopefully Diva is scouting, they will call that they're going to be doing the statue play, and Pando needs to just get up there and get ready to do the boop. That's all you have to do, just boop the Sigma off and then delete the Bastion. That's just how it works. It's an easy counter as long as you know what to do in order to counter it. But it looks like it ain't even going to happen because Judge is going to get in there first.
He just goes charging in and... Well, it actually works.
The alternative to waiting and baiting is to just dive right in. I see how it is. Y'all, that was incredible. Oh, and the wall, the wall. I'm so sorry, Daydream.
Yeah. Bringing out the Charlie Sheen mentality. I've got only one speed, and that's go. I mean, I thought that Reinhardt was just going to get collapsed in on. I thought he was just charging in by himself and was going to get punished for it.
I honestly did too, but the follow-up was there. Okay, so Meridian Technical has made a swap again. Now here is what I'm talking about knowing the win condition of some other team versus to what you have. The Flares are running the wall and maul. May gets a wall up. They speed in with Lucio. They don't even need to use amp. Judge does a bunch of swinging, and Junk on that Joy just throws a bunch of landmines in and it's good to go. Now, if Meridian Technical has 1-2 players get walled off, the speed takes off there. They don't have a D.Va to fly over, nor a BAP. The BAP can jump over and use Immor, but there's no D.Va to provide extra backup, and that's a problem. The wall has gone up, the Law is there, they get pinned, they go down. See, you gotta have the D.Va.
It looks like there was going to be Valkyrie, also used by Daydream Soup, bringing out infrared sights, but at this point, you're not going to be able to turn around the fight just with infrared sights all by yourself.
I'm really hoping we see Jaber swap over to the D.Va. Judge, really? Oh. Really? Oh, D.Va, you too? Okay, we saw the wave. We know what's happening. It's the sneaky shatter.
They saw what the Junkrat has done. You know, they saw what their teammate has done on the Junkrat, so now they want their play.
Okay, so Meridian Technical needs to be scouting here, and they've swapped over to the Pharah. They have the Mercy pocket. That takes away so much healing from the back line. And then Judge, I see that. And then we got the bomb dropping too. The bomb didn't pick anybody up. That was just for added flair. So we have the Pharmacy, that's fine. But really at this point, if they're going to be running Pharmacy, they need the D.Va there to help absorb extra damage that's going to be going onto the front line because Reaper's going to be in the pocket of Law. And so that's just 2 people getting mowed down. So the D.Va here to protect them so much longer.
Meridian Technical looks like they're going to be trying, ET Flares, excuse me, trying to go for a full hold here and just make it 3-0. So Meridian Technical tries to push their way through. We have the Rhines battling back and forth. Blizzard thrown out by Panda to freeze 2 members of Meridian Technical, and the follow-up from Judge. He is unstoppable with a double. Panda also getting rid of Zarya. That's going to be another hold for the Flares and a stagger too.
That was so sneaky. I can't believe you went in that far. I mean, props to you, but don't expect to be able to do that with too many teams. That's just evil, and normally it's caught out.
Right now, the Flares are just... I think that they're just kind of going for all of our top 5 plays of the game. They want to go for the disrespectful, in-your-face plays as Meridian Technical tries to rotate through theater right now. They're going to have to use their revive there because the Junkrat caught him out.
And that's a wall, but it cuts off too. And unfortunately, it's not going to... That's just so difficult to counter the comp that they're in with the composition that they're currently running. I don't fully see a clear win condition for Meridian Technical beyond
Pyro.
The ults.
Pyro is out there all by himself. There goes Daydream as well.
Oh, Daydream's chilling out at low health, trying to get a touch. Go, Daydream, you can do it. Dang it, D.Va, why'd you just break my heart like that?
One final rip tire, and that's gonna do it. ET Flares get the win 2-0, and with plenty of attitude at that. Well, as you can see, Nerdy, going at it alone can only get you so far. Ultimately, if you want to increase your chances of success, you have to level up your teaming skills. We saw that with some of the great follow-up that was gotten off those CC ultimates like the Shatters that the Flares used. And you can see how talented they are. Esports Tower really takes the time to create teams of well-matched teammates. I'd like to do a shout-out to coaches, and for those of you watching who haven't checked out Esports Tower clubs, you should. It's the fast track to rank up. Alrighty, so overall, what do you think the main takeaway is for that match? Because we saw a lot of crazy plays, but what's the final lesson?
Know your win condition.
Know your win condition.
Yes, that is an old Doc's keys to the game, but it is one that still rings true. You need to always know your win condition.
Yep, and we definitely saw that. It just seems like Meridian Technical wasn't able to adapt to what the Flares brought out, something that we called out the Flares for at the beginning, but it ultimately worked out for them. So that was such an interesting series to start things out. We'll take a short break and be back with more Esports Tower action. You're not going to want to miss it. Please stay tuned.
Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your Guard adventure.
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Welcome back to this week's broadcast of the Esports Tower Rumble in Overwatch, broadcasting from the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. Our first series of the night was a clear blowout as the Flares cruise towards victory against Meridian Technical. Now we're going to have two Esports Tower teams fighting out to see who can make the better name for themselves in the second match of the night. I'm still your host, Jacob Jem Palmer, joined by Artie Nerdy Rain to call all the action for you tonight. We're going to have a great match set up for you, but before we get to that match, we want to take a moment to congratulate all of the Esports Tower Club members who have graduated from the clubs and been offered scholarships across the country. For over the last 3 months, Esports Tower Club members have received over $1.6 million in scholarship awards. These students have not only worked hard in their gameplay, but also worked hard academically to earn these scholarship opportunities. We could not be more excited and proud to see the opportunities these players are getting.
Those numbers just keep going up. It's absolutely incredible, and I love to see it. And don't forget, even after you get scholarships when you come to college, there's still tournament winnings in there.
Yeah,
too.
that is true. That is true. There's a lot of glory, fortune and glory to be won, if you will. We're right ahead into the second match. It's going to be the Meteors versus the Mammoths. Kind of an extinction battle, if you're going on there. Kind of the prehistoric versus the Meteors.
That's so mean.
Well, who's going to survive? That's the question.
Yeah, was it going to be the Ice Age or
Look,
extinction of the
if I get the chance to set up any sort of thematic battle between two teams, I'm going to take it, no matter what.
I got you 100%. I love it myself, so we'll have to just wait and see.
Well, before we get to the match, let's get to Doc's keys to the game for these two teams in Overwatch, and that's never to take a fair fight. That means to take fights in unexpected places when your opponents are unprepared, and tempo, tempo, tempo. Doc's keys to the game brought to you by Esports Tower. Score pro advice at esportstower.com. Improve your game sense, improve your team play, improve your performance under pressure. You'll get matched with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up. So ready to head into the Meteors versus the Mammoths. Starting out on control again. Same stage as last time. Ilios and Ruins this time instead of the Windmill.
Yeah, and so I mentioned it at the end of the last game, and I'm going to toss this into Doc's keys, and that is knowing your win condition. And definitely both these teams have clear ones. We got the Mammoths with that wall-in-mall strat, so to speak, but they've got Illusion Illusion now. I was about to say now, so it makes no sense. Illusion on the Widowmaker. So the Wall and Ball can work, and it's also even more deadly with locking down a lot of angles, whereas the Meteors are going for more of a poke composition with that Sigma or Orisa comp. We see the first wall come out, and it doesn't quite pick up one as quickly as we want it to, and both Immortals have been expunged, so this means a full reset as Illusion takes down one. Like I said, those angles are going to be locked down, and Illusion's getting bold, going all the way around to the far left.
Trying to get those picks one by one. Already had one. Is going to duck in here to try to heal up. Mammoths, meanwhile, that one pick was enough for them to get the point first, and they're going to start charging it up as Meteors actually look to be split up a little, kind of going for a split push here as we see Illusion trying so hard to get a sight on everybody, but has just taken damage every which way and needs to regroup.
I mean, it does seem a little bit like that, and we did just see Bonesaw just dash right through them. However, it took both DPS to do that, meaning that pulled two people away from what could have been a 5v5 or a 6 or a 5v6 in favor of the Meteors, but instead it turned into a 4v5, and that resulted in losing both of their supports right away, and then Bonesaw and Joe on the Echo.
Mammoths now cruising toward the halfway point, not having given up one fight. Diamond Dog also sitting on this shatter. So the Meteors have to be careful. They don't want to just walk right into it. Seems like the Mammoths are biding their time, and Illusion is getting the first pick. He was looking damage. Gravitic Flux was used, caught out Radius, but they still managed to survive, and they are able to take out two from the Meteors. Genji Blade also brought out by Bonesaw to try to turn it around. He's going to at least pick up the mech and not Doomfist, so it's kind of even back and forth between the two teams.
We do hear that Sights got popped. Diamond Dog did go down, but not after making an incredible amount of space. She is also a very high-ranked tank coming out for the Mammoths, so having to go toe-to-toe with that can be quite difficult unless you have a means of stopping the Reinhardt. I wish you luck. We do have Bonesaw swapping over to the Tracers. Let's hope they start becoming a Warlord of the backlines and just pulling attention like Illusion has been doing to open up space for their own team, as we do see Joe has done the copy. The shatter goes down. It's blocked in a frame-perfect perspective there from Diamond Dog.
Now they're going to get mowed down. They go down to about 14 health, still managing to stay alive, but Doomfist is going to be the savior for the May there, but Delirious getting the last tick there. That's a huge self-destruct as well from Mammoths, taking it 100-0.
That was beautiful. I mean, there's not really much you could do in that situation. Once that point had been locked down, the tempo, as Doc would put it, was absolutely in favor of the Mammoths. So far, the Extinction events are not stopping the Mammoths. Let's see if there's a change-up if the Meteor Strikes decide to come in with a Fire Force in the next round.
As we move on to the second stage, it's going to be same second stage, though, as we head back to Lighthouse.
Oh, look at that yacht. I'll never, ever, well, a cruise line I'll never be able to be on.
Oh. It does look nice.
It is quite pretty. All right, so Meteors, they're going with that dive composition. Ooh, that's like a classic style dive for Lighthouse. That's one that's been used for quite a long time. You position the Ana on the high ground, but typically you have someone there who can protect them. So that means Chum is going to be stuck quite a bit jumping between protecting their Winston as well as their Ana. Let's see how that works out for them in this first fight.
Chum is from my favorite, my absolute favorite gamer tag that I've seen here from Esports Tower. So I'm going to be rooting for them because that's such a great reference.
We do see the rotation into Cage come out from the Mammoths to just lock down positioning. They've got that standard Reaper dive comp, and it looks like it's working out for them despite the Diva. Not Doomfist is still doing quite a bit of healing, but they'll get taken out in the process just because the amount of burst healing is not there to keep them alive. Something to keep in mind when you're choosing to run that comp is you have to be heavily focused on your positioning despite being a fast-moving one. And Bonesaw just doing a lot of damage, not getting a lot of attention put on them right now.
And it seems the Mammoths are more than willing to just kind of abide their time. Whereas Bonesaw is going to continue peppering damage, taking them out one by one. Now he manages to get onto the point. As Illusion and Diamond Dog are eliminated. Now Radius taken out. That's going to be the first point taken for the Meteors.
And because of the Mammoth's choice to lock down that point there, it unfortunately also made it so their ults are not where the Meteors are. Playing it slow and letting the point just kind of work itself out is definitely the play when you're playing a surround and conquer comp like the Meteors are playing right now.
There goes Primal Rage, brought out by their Winston, just trying to keep the Mammoths away for the point for the time being. Sweatpants is going to get the first pick onto Joe, though. Coalescence is brought out, as well as the Barrage, trying to take out not Doomfist, but he's just going to bring the Coalescence right back in his face.
I am so shocked that worked out, and in that process, Sweatpants was picking up a couple as well, so nicely done on the retake there, Mammoths.
You know that is one stressful situation for that Moira. You're just listening to every single damage tick there going, come on, come on, come on.
Yeah, and the Ana was even peppering them. Unfortunately, Ana choosing to go after not Doomfist ultimately is why that Coalescence worked out. Just not enough on point healing, and just a couple shots missed on a Coalescing Moira means they're going to live because of how much healing Coalescence gives the Moira.
Meteors now trying to get back toward the point, having 2 ultimates in their pocket, but they're going up against the Mammoths 3 right now. And this Farmer, being pretty uncontested. Sweatpants is instead trying to focus all the damage onto the tanks, which are in the upper level here, but he can't necessarily teleport up there until space is made for him. There he goes.
Bold.
Well, okay. Well, there's always next time.
Oh no, it was in the bubble. Oh, that's unfortunate. When there's that much red in front of your face, it's also difficult to see sometimes in such a tiny space. Now that time, and it's not going to work out, not Doomfist. You had 3 guns pointed at you.
But in terms of losing, I mean, look at the stall that they brought out there. They pushed it to 87%.
Yeah. I just wait. Oh, okay. Not Doomfist. I will give it to you. You used it knowing you were going to swap. That's fine. If you weren't swapping, I might have been a little more judgy. We do have 2 ults coming out for the side of the Mammoths, 2 Meteors, 3. Let's hope that the ult tracking is there for Radius Boss, and they're aware that this Pharah is coming in, and the Ana was, because that sleep was on point, but unfortunately Sweatpants did eat the brunt force of that ultimate.
Illusion now taken out by Joe, and Bonesaw also eliminating not Doomfist. Damage is going to continue to be peppered onto the Mammoths, who need to regroup and fast as charge goes past 70%. They got to push as a team because they are not going to have too many fights left.
Bonesaw is a little bit low. Okay, they did get their Mercy back. Joe is getting kind of poked down by Illusion. We did see Illusion also swap over to the Soldier 76. They have Attack Visor on lock. That in conjunction with a little help from D.Va could easily take down that Pharmacy. Instead, they're just going to find the Mercy, no problem, and now they're getting chased down, though, so they need a little bit of assistance in the form of that health pack.
Chum is fun, proving, look at Winston here, too. Also, is going to chase them back toward the point. They have to deal with a little bit of everyone from every angle here, but Illusion now is finding a way to make it work. Eliminating Chum is from taking the point back at 96%, but Bonesaw!
Oh. That was so bold of you. You had like 8 health that entire time. I think you might be able to get rezzed here, though, if Delirious is so bold. Delirious, don't do it. Don't do it, Delirious, please. Still don't do it.
Well, it doesn't look like they're going to be able to take this point back with them trickling in one at a time. It is only just a matter of time unless Bonesaw can turn it around like he's trying to do, but unable to do that right there. Diamond Dog, she's going to pick up the last onto Chum is Fum and get the win for the Mammoths.
All right, so we're moving on to Hybrid. Do you think it's going to be Scrims Row again?
Yeah, probably, most likely.
I want to see Blizzard World. I mean, I've
only seen it once, but...
I understand that like everyone has the practice and the scrims on Scrims Row. That's why it's always picked. But when you have that in mind, you know, if everyone practices on that map and it's played so frequently, pull something else out of the hat.
Yeah, sometimes we see Numbani, that's kind of the second choice, and then we've got Eichenwald and Blizzard World, which kind of sit in the background.
I feel like everyone hates Eichenwald in Blizzard World. Oh, wait, no, it's Escort.
No, it was Hybrid the second round and then Escort, but you know what? Sometimes it's just a different mode is chosen, and
that's fine.
It's just best 2 out of 3. Yeah.
Let's see what it is, because I honestly, this is up to the esports tower coaches. I feel like talking with their students. Do you have one that you would like to see?
I'm thinking. I mean, Escort, we normally see Dorado. That's kind of the most picked one. Junkertown can be kind of fun. You know what? I do like Watchtower Gibraltar. We don't see that enough.
I'm gonna second that, and if I see Rialto, I am actually probably gonna cry. You do not know how often I saw Rialto this weekend in a 10-hour-long broadcast I did, so I'm sick of it. Please no Rialto. Please.
Well, it'll be new to me then. No, actually, yeah, I pretty bad memories of Rialto recently too
Thank
from
you.
a match of
All right.
from Boise State. So
Oh my gosh! Oh man! All right, guys, I get it. Okay.
let me take another sip of my coffee here because I'm gonna need it.
Oh man, I feel like it's the Kermit meme of sipping the tea. Okay.
Ah, that's some good. That's some
right.
good. I mean, hey, if there's any place to enjoy a refreshing espresso, then it is gonna be in Italy.
That's
so.
valid. All right, so Meteors going with a wall and maul comp, but they've got Bonesaw on the Symmetra, so that's a little creative on the defense. I'm interested to see how that. Oh, y'all are going for it. Okay.
Oh, but it doesn't look. It looks like Mammoths were able to kind of outsmart them there.
Oh my gosh, the TP onto the high ground. That's so bold. I love it. I absolutely love it. Go hard or go home. And it worked. It actually worked. Oh my gosh, that's absolutely incredible. I adore it. We do see that we had Widowmaker make their way around the map, but Illusion just gets taken out by Blank because Blank don't lose. Diamond's got to be careful as we see them. Oh, Sweatpants is going to go down to the to our. Oh my gosh, I can't think anymore. But Bonesaw. Oh my gosh, and the wall's already up. Oh, I can't believe this is working. I really can't. It's incredible.
And they're still staying pushed up so far, and they're still winning it.
They're so bold. I love it. If only Goblin were watching this, he'd be proud.
Look at this Ryan here. He's just swinging right in. He's going to get punished for it, though.
Diamond!
He gets taken out finally. There goes Illusion as well. Radius also eliminates Blank. That's going to be the end of the Meteor's fun right now. Mammoths managed to get their footing and start pushing the payload forward.
And we do see that the Meteors are making a composition swap. Bonesaw swapping off the Symmetra over to that Cassidy. Still sticking with the wall and maul comp, but swapping it because they're no longer doing the cheeky close hold. I cannot tell you how long it has been since I've seen someone do that on Rialto. That was so insanely bold. Props to the Meteors for that one.
Yeah, it burned off about a minute and a half from the Mammoths time bank. That's a huge play by Bonesaw there. A triple, now make it a quad to tear into the Mammoths. Just stop them all in one go.
And we even had Chum is Fun go all the way to the spawn, knowing that Widowmaker was way back there still respawning, keeping them out of the fight, and knowing that if they're down 1 DPS and Chum went away, that means that they're still equal as far as manpower, numbers.
I do have to correct you. It is Chum is Fum.
Oh, my apologies.
You have to. That's the exact quote. It has to be misspelled like that for the reference to work.
My apologies. Chum is Fum. We do hear the shatter from Barbecue. I don't think it picked anybody up, though, and Barbecue is going to go down. Radius Boss taking them out. The Inmore also dropped. We hear the copy go off, and it's on a D.Va. Oh, no. Let's hope that D.Va gets burned, or Echo self-destructs can happen like 2 and 3 times unless the copy gets burned.
There it goes. Self-destruct thrown out. And Delirious is actually just going to be kind of forced off the edge because so much space is being made by the Mammoth.
No,
Gravitic Flux also
boss.
used, and he does manage to get out, but does take a bit of damage going down to 162.
They're getting a little bit of heal from that payload, I believe.
Just a little bit, but I don't think he can keep the payload all by himself going up against Chum right now. He's going to be taken out of their mech right now, though, so we'll see how good the Baby D.Va skills are. Still survives with the Deadeye!
Radius, you almost made it! How'd you not turn around? Actually, Radius, we were rooting for you.
So Mammoths, it has to be do or die right now, because Meteors, they chose Rialto for a reason, and we're seeing it.
Yeah, it's paying off in spades. The ults are heavily in their favor. I'm just, Mongo. I'm sorry. Diamond Dog has the bongo here, and when you have, yeah, there it is. I was hoping the Zenyatta could be there as well, because a Zen on a bongo is just absolutely incredible to watch when they hit those marks. And we do see that for the side of the Meteors, they know what they need to do. Just get out of LOS, completely waste it. Echo's trying to be cheeky and take some poke here, but there's a D.Va right in front of that Ryan, so good luck. And Blank is ready to be some devious Maywork here.
Throws the wall up in response. Transcendence brought out by Mango, and Bonesaw still finds a way to get through that Transcendence, staying out Illusion, not Doomfist, and Mango follows. And now with Radius taken out, that's going to be the Mammoth's end to their push here. Echo can't get back to the payload, and that does it. Only a little under 60 meters.
Are we about to see the extinction event?
We could. They're definitely trying to fight back here because the Mammoths are at match point right now, so Meteor is trying to push this to a game 3.
I want to see a game 3. That means everyone went as hard as they possibly could. And that payload is pretty gosh darn close. That's one fight territory. If your team. So the Mammoths, if they want to win this, I think they need to take a page out of the Meteor's book.
I know. Just go for the close hold themselves.
Really, it's a bold move. It's a risky move if you don't know how to do it, but it's the best bet they got in order to come out on top of this one. But I think we're going to see the Apex Predator go down the Instinction event.
We just well the woolly mammoth is an herbivore, remember? So
I'm still gonna call them an apex predator. They're huge, okay?
Yeah, that's true. They could still charge you down. You know, they can still do damage. Still probably one of the most.
You get stepped on, you're done for.
I mean, hey, just because they eat plants doesn't mean they're dangerous. Moose are very dangerous.
Exactly.
In the wild.
All right. So.
And it's not like it's almost in fact even worse because it's like, well, if it's a carnivorous animal, at least there's the survival question. They're trying to get a meal, but for an herbivore, they're just doing it for the fun.
Oh my, that just made it. Oh, that's okay. Yeah.
That just makes every herbivore look so dark now.
Yes, it does. And it does look like they're doing it. And they're doing it even sneakier. They're not revealing themselves out the gate, so there's no opportunity for a counter swap to happen before those doors drop. And the Meteors going with the bold move here with the Roadhog from Barbecue. Decided to make some pulled pork, but it doesn't work out. But Illusion goes down to Bonesaw right away. Nicely done there, but I don't know if this hold's going to be broken too quickly as the core of this group is still quite strong. Blank, though, goes in and takes out Not Doomfist, so there goes the core. And Delirious! Delirious, that was absolutely spicy!
And, well, there you go.
I think Delirious might have just gotten play of the game. I really hope it is, because that was a huge environmental.
Yeah. Getting 2 there, that's going to really bring it down to just one more fight that the Mammoths can give up here. That's a good start to it, though. They are able to take out the Roadhog. So they need to take advantage of that right now and not let this payload move anymore as Blank is trying to throw out some damage here.
Do you see where Bonesaw is, though? Perfect positioning all the way wrapped around.
Oh, yes. Now I see it. Now I see it. Oh, and Mango doesn't! He gets taken out, and Blank also flanking with the Riptire to finish it out!
Taking 2 down and the Diva. I mean, it wasn't the Riptire, but Bonesaw now popping that the attack visor, trying to take out this Widow. We do see Blank trying to come in and help out, but with that, the Extinction event might have started.
It just might have. We're going to have to wait for the final stage here.
Yes.
Now, for sure, we're going to see Hybrid now.
Yes, now it's totally fine for Hybrid. Time for Hybrid, I can English. Please not Kings Row.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe we shouldn't state the stages that we don't want to see because we were talking about how we didn't want to see Rialto, and look how that went out for us, so.
I would like to see Blizzard World.
Okay, yes, I would like to as well. We just don't see enough of that stage.
All right, there's our hopes and dreams. Now go ahead and feel free to crush them.
Yeah. Go do your job and crush the caster's hopes and dreams. That's basically, I know that probably hits a little too close to home after casting for 10 hours.
It does, okay. There's just, I get it, teams favor some maps, but they're just favored so heavily. I'm like, be the unexpected one in the bunch, please.
Sure.
Be creative. I like creativity.
We'll have to see. It is up to the Mammoths as they get choice of the stage here. It is going to be the final one to decide. So with the choice of stage, Meteors chose something that they were absolutely comfortable with, the close hold on Rialto. So what is brought out by the Mammoths? It is going to be Kings Row. Okay. Nice production. I appreciate it. Just so you could see the moments. I know they're going to screen cap that and say you can actually see the moment where Nerdy's shoal shatters.
It did a little bit, okay? I mean, I love all of these kids, but come on, guys. I get it. You want to give yourself a chance to have the best opportunity you can, but Mammoths, what are you doing? Stop.
They just might.
But they got Barbecue on the Roadhog. That's a slight deviation. So maybe the Roadhog is the true play here to hook anyone off the statue who tries to go for the boop because Mango can do it. But, they're actually taking a slightly... Nope. Bastion is in their spot.
There it is.
The statue has begun, but I do believe Radius Boss is up there in Bonesaw's face, possibly. We do see also Doomfist is taking a lot of damage. Now Diamond Dog's just going to start pushing forward, knowing that Bastion is having to pick one target at a time. And now down goes the Baptiste for the Mammoths, so this could be a turnaround point as we also see the Symmetra go down, and just gotta take out that TP illusion. Yes, and you did, Bastion, you should have seen the health on the TP and not gone through. You're stuck now. My friend, I'm so sorry.
Almost getting one tick, though. Look at that.
Yeah, but Mango's got enough speed that they can jump in and jump out. Heal up now, please. Please heal up now. Just give up 2 ticks and go back on. There's only 2 people. Never mind, there's more people on now.
Not Doomfist, though. Still managed to get... He's all alone by himself.
Oh, no. Okay.
There
Okay, they died before the point got taken, though, so that means that Mongo just needs to go back and pick up the Ana. You guys cannot push forward right now without your Ana. That is a bold, bold, bold move you should not be making into a Bastion. Please round that corner. Yes, yes, round the corner. Barbecue, though. Barbecue, you might be in hot water. You are in hot water. You are not going to get barbecued. You're going to get boiled. Never mind, Diamond Dog is.
There goes the tank form, brought out. Bonesaw is out for Illusion. Look at that, into the back line. And that is a clutch Maywolf, but she's going to pay for it. Sweatpants also eliminated by the tank.
Okay, full regroup now. Not Doomfist has the ultimate, Diamond Dog has the ultimate, and you have the Diva to facilitate your Reinhardt just, you know, hit and shift off cooldown while they have that nano and just going ham. Let's just hope that in that time they don't also drop Shatter and then follow it up with one of the DPS ults, because that sometimes happens when people get a little too trigger happy.
Here goes Gravitic Flux, is going to take Diamond off guard as they were...
Diamond Dog!
Well, they got hit with the nano boost, so she probably thought she had to make a big impact, but it just didn't quite work out.
I'll take that as being mainly my fault, but the amplification matrix in front of a Bastion's a little scary.
That's quite an anti-nade, though, onto 3 of the Meteors, but they managed to still survive. Joe eliminating not Doomfist. Radius also taking a bit of chip damage here and there. Their Mei has to cryo-freeze to stay alive. Radius taken out of their mech, and Diamond Dog also trying to regroup, but they're all so scattered out.
Oh, the Mei ult, though. This could be huge. Take out the Reinhardt. The Shatter is free. Go for it, Diamond. Go for it. Yes! Picked up 2, but you went down in the process and your team was not there. I'm sorry. That's my fault.
Maybe we just got to stop making suggestions here, because it keeps ending badly.
Half the time. We see a bomb. We see a bomb. We see a bomb. It's going to be huge. Bastion picked up 2, but in return we take out Joe. It might be enough. Oh my gosh, Bastion, you are in some creative positioning. I like it, but I'm feeling very sorry for Radius.
That is quite creative positioning there. Look, they haven't gotten the checkpoint there.
No.
It's 0.01.
It's working. It is working, and I am all here for it. Battle hard. Sweatpants going for it. That Reinhardt is low. Barbecue finally is taken down by Illusion. Bonesaw. Okay, there is a swap off the Bastion, so I'm thankful that Bonesaw is choosing to go with the Doomfist. There isn't a lot of stun on the side of the Mammoths, so as long as Hanzo Illusion now does not lock onto Bonesaw and start, like, actually just tagging them and keeping track of them, that Doom could get a lot of value.
2 Amp Matrixes thrown down, as well as a Dragon Strike. Going to try to split up the Meteors right now as they bring out their Gravitic Flux. He didn't catch a lot of them.
Oh, Joe! That was huge.
Huge copy, and now has the Shatter.
Oh my goodness, that was absolutely massive.
That is a team kill for the Meteors.
Joe, come on, dude, get out. That's too bold. Yes, thank you. Start backing up. Nicely done.
Mammoths are going to try to have their last hold here.
They did kill a lot of time, though. I mean, I thought that checkpoint was going to be grabbed and there was going to be like 5 minutes on the clock, but they held out for so long.
Bonesaw taking damage, almost eliminated, going to be finished off by not Doomfist. Sweatpants also looking to freeze this Echo. Is able to do it, just one tap onto the head, and another hold for the Mammoths here, it looks like.
And the Mammoths are close to that Mei ult as well. They could play cleanup crew with it, but they don't really need to. But the grasp has been used by Sigma. And with 2 left, you don't need to pop a Mei ult there. It's a 1 fight. Once you win it, don't drop any ults. It's a waste of util.
Just moving back ever so slowly, back towards that checkpoint. Mammoth's already having won 1 engagement and got about a minute off the timer for that one, so they're still going to have to hold probably 3 or 4. There goes the Amp Matrix thrown down. Sweatpants throws out the Blizzard. Shatter brought out in response, but so much space is made that they're able to freeze Barbecue. And that means that those two ultimates dropped by the Meteors. Are they going to be of any use, or were they able to burn them away, bait them out with the self-destruct and pick up two as well?
Radius, that was massive!
There's another hold, and now we go down below 2 minutes for the Meteors.
In all honesty, Sweatpants, that got so much value. Your one Mei ult was traded for both support ults. That's absolutely incredible. We do see Bonesaw choosing to make a swap off the Doom over to the Genji. That is an interesting pick. I mean, Illusion was countering the Doomfist, but now we also have Mei to deal with going into a Genji. That win condition's a little bit of a hard-fought one. And we see Diamond get a shatter onto the back line. There goes the main sustain. And the counter charge gets a chip on the Rhine, but Diamond is now very low and needs to heal up. And there's a Genji trying to pick at them. And it looks like, yes, not Doomfist has gone down. Radius boss as well. Oh, no, Diamond, you are probably not going to survive this.
Manages to trade, though.
You traded. Nicely done. And we just see Illusion has their ultimate online.
This Genji's still alive. Bonesaw being such a pain.
They're doing their job. I mean, if the main win con is not your blade, just being a nuisance, like we saw Illusion previously on the Widowmaker, just being a nuisance and taking attention, it can do so much, and it's working.
But now everything's been used by the Meteors. They're going to have to deal with this visor as soon as it's brought out. But can he take them out? They just focus him down in the visor. He got too aggressive with it.
We did see the Shatter also not get blocked there, so it went through, but the beat from Mongo is going to be massive and save their entire team. I think 4 went down, and it's going to allow the reverse here. Pushing back, it does look like the Mammoths will hold off for another fight, but there is one left, and as far as ult economy goes, it's pretty gosh darn equal, but the support ults are what's really needed here. And it looks like the only one that's going to be available immediately is going to be not Doomfist.
Well, it's going to have to be Diamond Dog. She has to land this Shatter before the DPS's ultimates are able to be used by the Meteors, because they are very close.
Shatter Bomb. I just love seeing me some good Shatter Bombs. Please. That's all I want to see.
15 seconds left. There goes the remake. Bonesaw is going to have their Genji Blade now as well, and the copy available.
So this is very interesting. They took out Barbecue, and instead of pushing forward and forcing the fight early to take out and clean up more, they chose to stay around payload. And if they end up losing this fight, at least the Mammoths, I feel like that's going to be the deciding factor. But Radius Boss uses their bomb, picks up 2. Nicely done. We do see, I believe Diamond Dog's Shatter might have played into that one. Bonesaw is still surviving. I'm not sure how they're not getting focused. Instead, people are looking at the big things on the map.
Right now, there's a great pick by Holy. Bonesaw trying to force this Baptista. He is still very low on health, but trying to survive. Problem is, he's not on the payload, and that overtime timer is going to tick down very fast if they don't manage to stay on it, but they do manage to get 3 points with only 0 seconds left.
So pointing back to that Doc's key, that tempo, the Mammoths had it. They took down Barbecue, and instead of capitalizing on that opportunity, they had the speed. They could have just gone forward and cleaned up people slowly and forced down that timer, because there's 15 seconds left on the clock. It could have prevented them from ever touching.
That would have been a very... Yeah, that's mainly the point here. They could have prevented... Well, we can't look back too much here. We just got to kind of look forward, because the Mammoths are now going to have their offensive push. It isn't uncommon that we see 2 3-point pushes here on Kings Row.
Yeah, I know it is uncommon. There's 3-point pushes on Blizzard World.
Is going to remain bitter about that for the rest of the day, I see.
Yes, a little bit. Until someone makes me a little happy by picking either Watchpoint Gibraltar or Blizzard World. I hope all of you are watching and listening to me right now, and I hope someone's like, okay, no more Scrims Row immediately. Let's make it a little more spicy so Nerdy doesn't look so depressed all the time.
That's interesting. Joe going for the Pharah, but without the Mercy pocket. Oh, no. Okay, swapping over to the Ashe.
All right, so we got the Wrecking Ball Sigma coming out for the Meteors. It may not seem like a clear win condition with this, but it is really where Barbecue just goes in and In the words of Pyros, I took all of their E's and just take all of the abilities right out the gate and then allow other people to go in and clean up. Whereas the Mammoths are going for that standard wall and maul comp for themselves. It's actually very strong, especially considering if they could get Sigma, the Holy Chub, walled off, there's no one to help them out, but Illusion now is just going to pick people off before anyone even bothers to get in, and a high ground rotation coming out from the Mammoths right now, too.
Gonna try to get another vantage point there, looking for that Zen.
Oh, Zenyatta.
He manages to escape, though, and Barbecue with the flank here is trying to mow Illusion down, who manages to survive, though.
Not much longer. I don't think Illusion's going to live much longer, being honest. Never mind Yeah, Barbecue's right there.
Well, still doing a lot of damage to him, is still fighting away.
Oh my gosh, Illusion!
How are you still alive? Wow.
The heads just weren't getting clicked there by Barbecue, so Illusions only went down, what is that, 45 health while Barbecue was on them? Yeah, no, that's not enough harassment. You need to make Widowmaker regret their decision, not just get a little bit of an anxiety attack for 2 seconds.
Ooh, almost trying to take out Zen again. Gets hit with the Orb of Discord. Infrared sights brought online for Illusion. So they managed to make their way through the archway. They're going to pop the infrared sights, trying to deal with this Hanzo here. Very low, but still managing to survive. Risky peek to take, but now needs some healing. There goes Barbecue trying to slam down, but still not doing that much disruption. Finds the flank for the Hanzo. And now the Mammoths find themselves up one. Illusion can go back to clicking heads if everything goes according to plan. Amp Matrix also thrown down by not Doomfist, and Diamond Dog uses the Shatter as, in conjunction with the wall.
Oh, we just heard a nano-boosted Zenyatta. Your Zenyatta better be able to click some heads if you're going to be willing to do that, but unfortunately it looks like it might have gone to waste. We do see Diamond Dog finally go down. Both DPS ults coming online for the Meteors. However, the Mammoths are pushing slow and steady. 4.5 minutes still on the clock, and it looks like they might be able to get this payload in 2
Barbecue
fights.
has just been in the back line this whole time.
It's working. I mean, they're surviving. That's value at least, because it's pulling a lot of attention, but you need to be doing that attention pulling when your team is alive.
Picks traded back and forth. There goes the Dragon Strike as well as the beat used in response by the Mammoths. They're going to push up to the first checkpoint here. Mammoths still have a lot to use. Nothing left for the Meteors. They're going to use their Amp Matrix, but still no eliminations. Bonesaw and Holy taking a bit of damage. Joe eliminated by Diamond Dog. That's going to start the train of elimination. Self-destruct not getting anyone. They have to focus on the Hanzo trying to flank them. He is going to be eliminated by Illusion, not Doomfist, taking out their Zen, and that's the checkpoint taken for the Mammoths.
I really want to see Vank swap over off that Zenyatta over, yes, to the Baptiste. Thank you. Zen Ana is a very, very old healer on composition. I mean, Ana Zen can work, but it's just not powerful enough into a Lucio for the side of the Mammoths, because they just have so much speed in comparison that you're very, very much so a sitting duck. However, I wanted to keep the Ana and see the Bab swap, or actually possibly see the Ana Lucio go into play, but a full swap is acceptable as we see the Mail get popped here. It does look like Bap is going to be in hot water, and they will go down, as will Joe.
A lot of damage being placed on to Holy. Almost taken out of their mech. There it is with the minefield. Barbecue picks up one. Not Doomfist is fighting back, as well as Illusion to keep the Meteors at bay while they get toward the third and final point.
All right, Meteors, it's time for the cheeky play, and I want one of your DPS to just swap over to Bastion right now, because you need to burn all those 4 minutes off the clock. Otherwise, the Mammoths just need to get one tick if they get this with time still remaining, versus you guys having nothing left in your time bank. And Diamond's Shatter didn't pick anybody up, but again, gave people a lot of space to make damage and made many players vulnerable for the Meteors.
They're just going toward this final point as Meteors trickle in one after the other. This Tracer trying to stall things out. Barbecue eliminated by Mango. There goes Tracer taken out by Diamond. Self-destruct is going to try to make some space for the Mammoths. They're almost to the final point. That is going to do it. They managed to go into overtime with a huge advantage.
All right, so overtime kind of. This is why I'm not the hugest fan of Hybrid Point, because now with the Meteors having nothing left on their clock, all the Mammoths got to do is get 33% on point A and they win. So Meteors need to have a rock-solid defense here where you get maybe one person or two people maybe dying. That's it.
That was some insane play by Illusion, though. Managing to stay alive in the face of that wrecking ball. We had just written Illusion off.
Yeah, that honestly was incredible. Barbecue, next time, just stay on them a little longer.
All right, it's going to be the final push and take for the Mammoths. Looking to win this, they only need one tick. Very hard for the Meteors to defend point one that long.
And for anyone watching, you got to remember that we are at match point. This is a best of 3. Both teams are currently tied, one aside, and Mammoths are setting themselves up pretty to walk away with a victory here, or we could see a draw. And if we see a draw, I think we go back to a control point.
We probably do.
Of course, I want to see a draw, but I know that neither one of these teams want to see a draw. But Meteors, you're hoping for the draw. Mammoths hoping for the victory here.
There it goes. They're going to go back to the May. 2 Mays being brought out here.
Ooh.
So a lot of walls. Who's going to get the better wall here?
We do have Illusion back on that Widow, but as opposed to having the Wrecking Ball to go deal with it, we've got a Diva from Holy Chub. That's what I like to see.
And off we go. They're going to take Theater route instead to avoid that wall. Looks like they managed to kind of get through it, but they are split up a little. The only one left. Okay, no, they do manage to push forward through it. Illusion's the only one hanging back. They force the Meteors to turn around. Will Illusion be able to pick up anyone off of that? They're going the full way around here.
Yeah, it looked like Illusion was going for that LA Gladiators play where they pull all the attention by wrapping around high ground and forcing the other team to basically go to the opposite side of that point, closer towards Statue, and give the opportunity for them to get picked off. But I think Bonesaw saw that coming. It's a little bit too popular of a play for it to work now.
Now they find themselves in an awkward position. Illusion gets eliminated by Bonesaw again.
Yes, and now Illusion is so split off from the side of the Mammoths that they've knocked off, I believe, a minute now.
I know, they don't
that's
have
actually quite big. Oh, Bonesaw, please don't do it again. If you do it again, please hit tab before you do it because the Cassidy swap has happened.
Okay, they managed to push out here.
Diamond! Diamond!
That's a great wall. It gets frozen in response to the mid-charge, too. It took a little bit of time, but it looks like it is not going to be brought out. If Bonesaw and Joe have anything to say about it, they have to take out the DPSs. Going to swing right into Joe's face, and that is going to do it for the point taken.
Oh, okay, never mind. I thought Diva was going to back up to one of the supports and be like, oh, no. Oof.
And it looks like the Mammoths survive extinction. The Meteor is not coming through anytime soon. Mammoths win that 2-1 in Game 3, overtime on Kings Row.
Nicely done, Mammoths. Congratulations. But also, Meteors, you guys did a fantastic job as well. I'm excited to see how much you grow in the coming weeks, even though I may not be on the desk for you.
Well, there goes a great victory by the Mammoths. And 3 million viewers, $2 million in scholarships. What more do you need to know if you want to get seen and score scholarships? Get in the club, pick the game you want to play at esportstower.com. Improve your game sense, improve your team play, and improve your performance under pressure. Alrighty, that was much closer than the first match.
It was spicy.
Yeah.
I like spicy, but I don't like Kings Row.
Well, we can take a look overall at the... That's the final moral of the story.
Yes.
Like spicy, you don't like Kings Row.
Exactly.
We can take a look at the group play results here for Group A. Meteors and Flares are going to take first and second, with Mammoths and Meridian High School going into third and fourth. So that'll be the standings that they are in as they move on to a bracketed stage.
Nicely done, everyone involved. Hopefully next week some new things are brought to the table and our words of wisdom are somewhat listened to, except for the advice given mid-round. If I am speaking about composition, that's worth listening to. If it's speaking about doing something really dumb, feel free to completely just not acknowledge what I am saying. Please, I'm begging you. And if you do choose to do it, you can always just blame it on me afterwards, and I will take the hit. Like, blast me on Twitter. I am open to it. Let's go.
That's good. That's good. Willing to take criticism. We're going to take a bit of a break and be back with more group play action in Group B, so you are not going to want to miss that.
NationalGuard.com to begin your guard adventure.
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Welcome back to this broadcast of the Esports Tower Rumble in Overwatch. You have just saw 2 group play games for this week, and now we move into the final match. It's going to be the grand finals, a best-of-5 match, and we're going to see which team overall is going to reign supreme for this week's Rumble. You can see the group play results there. Meteors and Flares being the top 2 teams. I'm your host, Jacob Jem Palmer, joined by Artie Nerdy Rain. And it looks like for this final match, it's going to be kind of yet another unique lineup of stages being brought out, with Assault being thrown into the mix now that it is the best of 5, so everyone's favorite. And so is that the one that I know you said earlier you were hoping it goes to a draw, but I don't think in light of an Assault map.
No, because I'll be honest, anyone that's keeping track of the Overwatch news, you know that 2CP is gonzo.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not going to exist going forward in Overwatch 2. And I'll be honest, it's like the bane of every player's existence. And it's one of the very, very few maps that is, I feel like, the easiest to draw on. Because you can full hold, and then the other team can full hold. And then it's just like, okay, what do we do at this point? Do we just keep doing it?
Yeah.
And like, I had a 2CP map go to 90 minutes at one point, and that's the cutoff. And it was painful. Like, by the time all of us were done, we're like, 90 minutes for nothing.
The one chance of redemption it had was the final map that released, and that was Paris. And we all know how that went out. That was the final nail in the coffin for 2CP.
It got deleted from Overwatch, just to tell you how bad it is. It's not there anymore. And then they also got rid of Horizon Lunar Colony, and that map went through a rework. So to all of these players, I'm sorry that 2CP is still a thing. I know you guys are going to have fun with it and make it work. I hope you can make a show of it, because I love the crazy strats that come out for 2CP maps, because it's just a crazy map mode in general.
Well, let's take a look finally at how this match is going to work out. Like I said, this is a best of 5 for the grand finals, I assume. And yeah, here we go. Best of 5. Control, Escort, Assault, and Hybrid. So we are going to see Assault brought out for sure. Normally that means we see Anubis, we haven't really seen Volskaya, and sometimes we see Hanamura.
Yeah, so this is best of 5, and so I know we don't list that 5th map because there is only 4 map modes. Typically, the decider, if it is going to end up needing to be, because there is a draw on one of these game modes, it's going to be a control not played, in which case we'll actually see something different this evening, which will make me a little excited.
Hopefully, yeah, that'll be something. What control stage do you most want to see, though? You're talking about being excited.
For control, it has to be Volskaya Industries, just because everyone knows the phrase, you got Volskaya'd. And that is because I feel like once you lose point 1, the deciding factor of whether or not that team can really survive is how many ults did they dump in that last fight before they decided, okay, this point is lost, because then you're going to get Volskaya'd. And if you can prevent yourself from doing that, it makes the game so exciting.
Well, let's take a look at the matchup that we have for this grand finals. It is going to be the Flames versus the Meteors tonight. Just Flares, excuse me. They're getting that all worked out there, which is kind of odd because the Mammoths won their round, so I don't know if it's supposed to be the Mammoths. But anyway, no matter who it is, I'm sure that they could really just want to get right into the match, and we're going to be going over to Lijon, which is quite a familiar sight.
All right, so the Meteors have a huge speed advantage going to point, but both these teams running a bit of a cattywampus play style here, and it does look like we did immediately get to point. Meteors, as I mentioned, both teams cattywampus, but the Flares a little bit more so because they had Fulcrum. They're doing double main tank, and the sustain for double main tank is extremely difficult to pull off, and so the Meteors ended up winning that one out despite having the Mercy and Baptiste here. They're going with the Bonesaw, just play for poke, get some damage, pick a target, and then everyone else int onto that target, and it allows for a lot of on-point and around-point control because Pharah can scout so much.
There goes Judge, eliminated by Blank. 20% charge is brought out. And they're just going to be content to just kind of stay on point with this Pharah Mercy here.
And Bonesaw already inching ever so closely to that ultimate. Panda Squad, I'm sorry, you just got deleted off the side of the map. It happens, and we're about to see a oh my god, 0 contest for the Pharah. Hopefully after that Rocket Barrage, the Flares decide Fulcrum, the Primal Rage is not worth it. Judge, the Shatter is not worth it. One of you needs to swap.
Did you see the Mercy?
What did Delirious just do? I missed.
Yeah, did you just see that? He wasn't even flying. He was standing still on the ground using the pistol.
That is so bold. Yes, okay, at this point, I don't care if you have ults in the bank. You're not countering this far enough. They're getting way too much value. And Panda Squad's about to feel the wrath of that value. They have the wall come out. We do also hear that the Deadeye is going to get popped. Judge is going to go off the map, but not before taking out Sigma as well. Barbecue is going to go down. And it does finally look like the Flares might get this point, but the amount of ults they just used to do that, it's going to be difficult to sustain this next fight unless Panda can get in there and take out Blank or take out Bank, but either one can get res pretty quickly unless you do a 2-piece. And I'm not counting yourself and someone else because it was a misfire of the Pulse Bomb.
We're going to see if this Pulse Bomb manages to land or misfire. Lukachu is going to be the first one to bring out the Amp Matrix. Might force Meteors through a different route here, and it does look like they're going to try to take a flank, and the bomb is only really going to get rid of the Immortality field. As their BAP is eliminated by Judge. Flares are going to lose 2 now as the Barrage actually turns things around, eliminating Judge and Pando. Fulcrum also gets taken out, so now it's just Bonesaw left. Has to go back onto the point to try to keep it. Oh, to try to take it is dealing with the turret, but it's not. No, the Mercy's
now
just healing.
Now they're just charging Mercy's ultimate here, free range. It is going to give Sim some ult charge too, but I'm really hoping we see the Sim swap. They are not. The wall can be very advantageous here. They have that, and oh my gosh, that is so dirty. That was absolutely dirty, Bonesaw. I appreciate it, but that was dirty.
Here goes the Proton Barrier thrown out. Panda's eliminated first off by Bonesaw. But Bonesaw gets pushed off the edge, and that's a huge Primal Rage. Off the edge, 2, 3.
Absolutely incredible. I don't know how the Flares managed to pull it off, but it's going to be a hard way to sustain because now the only person that's got ult is the Baptiste, and we saw how much value that got. It really only worked as a zone because they used it so early, and then Panda might be able to get close to an ultimate here.
Well, as impressive as that Primal Rage is, it's really been the only thing that's managed to get the Flares the point. So when it's not online, the question is how do Flares maintain position here?
Maybe swap off of the double main tank and get more mobile, such as going with the D.Va pick here, because you could D.Va Tracer dive can be huge. You can also guarantee a Pulse Bomb getting dropped during that. And instead, we're going to see Bonesaw just mow through people, I should say saw through people, taking out 2. Pulse does go off and pick up 1. Shatter's going to grab another as well from Barbecue. But with that, the res goes off. The point is going to flip. Wait, the point.
Oh, the teleport.
Okay, I see what's happening here.
Still trying to take out the teleporter.
Because it's still getting contested right now, so no one's gaining any sort of percentage. And with that teleporter down, it does look like this point might finally go in favor of the Meteors.
This Joy is eliminated, followed by a Fulcrum, and this Lucio's just going to try to stall things out as well as the Wrecking Ball. So, but they head off the point. They were pushed off, and that's going to do it. The Meteors take the first round.
All right, Flares, I hope you're listening when I say know your win condition. And when you're playing double main tank, it's very difficult. And obviously, Fulcrum got so much freaking value with this Primal Rage. Start facilitating Fulcrum. They're your win condition. Get them a D.Va, get them an Ana, get them a Zarya. Choose one of the 3 options I just gave you and run with it. I mean, if you go Zarya, you have to give them an Ana. If you go D.Va, you don't have to. You can stick with the Bap Lucio, but honestly, do something a little different. Oh, boy. Okay. All right, so we're going with the old style comp here from the Flares. That's a bold move.
All right, going to bring out the Symmetra instead here.
I'm interested to see if the Holy Chub is going to manage to use their Eat ability at the right times, because that's going to be the deciding factor of who comes out on top of this one. Same with Fulcrum using their bubbles at the right times as well. The sustain is the deciding factor. We do see that Immor's already been popped. There goes the second Immor, so slightly more in favor of the Flares as the second to pop theirs typically comes out on top. And now Bonesaw is microwaving everyone to pieces. Barbecue picked up a 3-piece, scratch that, a 4-piece, and Fulcrum accidentally got themselves in the face with their cannon.
Now this point is Flares are basically going to have that the main route closed off to them now that the car wash set up. Going to have to take the full flank route around here. It looks like that's already what Panda Squad is doing. Gonna try to get a flank onto them. Blank throws out the mine here, pushing so much damage through the main. Now they know that Panda is there. They go out. The turret's doing so much damage. Meteors are also going to be using the Shatter to try to get through here. And there's a really errant charge brought out by Judge.
Yeah, Judge unfortunately left their backline completely open, choosing to rotate in the corner to keep themselves up. They should have been in front of their team knowing that 2 supports would have been behind them. Fulcrum yet again, unfortunately, will misfire their cannon and take themselves out. We have Pando find Bonesaw, so there goes the TP. Let's see if they'll manage to find the TP as well to get possession of this point. It's a 2v1 on to Blank, but as I said before, Blank never loses, so let's see if Blank will lose this time. And it looks like they might. They're nope, they're getting healed up. Yep, that's not going to happen. Blank is not going down.
He's going to have the Riptire to use as well. Brings it out and takes out 2 from the Flares, allowing the Meteors to keep on the point. There goes the beat is being used by the Flares, trying to keep their remaining team members alive. They're going to bring out the Graviton Surge, gets a whole bunch from the Meteors, but the BAP is going to be able to heal them through that Graviton Surge, and then they just charge right back toward the Flares, still maintaining control here.
I understand that Grav Pulse is a very valid win condition. When it takes you 75 seconds, however, to get said Grav Pulse, it's not worth it. Fulcrum, honestly, just swap over to the D.Va. Bonesaw is getting creative, has decided to swap to the Bastion. I'm not positive as to why, because Panda Squad has a pulse, and if they landed on you, you are done for. Judge takes out Blank as well. Graphitic Flux goes off, as does High Noon, but the High Noon's not going to grab anybody.
Ooh, that's a pulse
There you
bomb
go.
on, yeah. Well, it seems just when they get to about 90%, Flares make their final rally, and Fulcrum is going to be able to get onto the point, push the remaining Meteors off, and so now the Meteors just have to regroup and make sure they don't stagger.
All right, we're almost at 50% on that grab. If Fulcrum can get it in one fight, because they are high charge, that's a good sign. Stick with the Zarya, but if they can't, please swap.
Barbecue getting the first pick onto Judge. Fulcrum falls as well. Both tanks gone for the flares, and now their squishies are wide open for the Meteors' punishment here. And their heads, there goes a sound barrier being used by the Meteors to keep them alive, but Platoric Joy is fighting back here. Blank manages to use the mine against them, but it's answered back by Pando, who picks up a double here, and they have survived on the point long enough for their tanks to rally back, and Meteors are held.
Nicely done, guys. That was pretty good.
I thought with their tanks gone, they were goners.
Yeah, okay, so now we have Panda Squad with that Pulse Bomb, but there's still no Graviton Surge. We do have Shatter, though, so if we see a Shatter Pulse, that'll be quite spicy, and I'll be very happy. But I think Panda's just going for a Flank Bomb here, which also could be such insane value, which at this point, waiting for Zarya to get their grab up, you'll probably have another Pulse in time anyway. There goes Pulse. It does cause the Immor to come out. It might be taken out in time. Yes, it will allow Delirious to get picked up. There goes Amplification Matrix. Zarya, though, getting awfully close to that grab, and they'll have no Immor for it. It's popped. It's huge, but is there a follow-up? There is!
The only follow-up is really going to be a charge there. But hey, it looks like the Meteors actually had a bit of a DC there. Delirious does manage to reconnect, though. So they're just going to have to be real disciplined and group up here because Flares, despite using so many ultimates, they still have 3 left.
I really, this is intriguing. It's going in ways I did not anticipate, but in the words of Fish, I don't know how much value that Deadeye's going to get.
that
There you go.
Riptire sure gets some value.
The answer is none, because you're not going to be alive for the last fight.
Shatters right as the brine gets bubbled. He's going to be charging
Barbecue.
way out here.
I think Barbecue miscalculated that shift key.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Flare up there, unfortunately, is going to ruin the cookout.
All right, well, that was quite spicy.
Okay, so no, I think that means we move on to the third and final stage of Lijiang.
Yep. All right, let's see. All right, so we're moving on to Tower. I want to see
No, we just saw Tower Gardens. Or are we?
It's Gardens, you're right.
Yeah.
It's technically called Gardens.
But both teams won one, so should
Well, yeah, we did a Night Market, then it was Control Center, then we're moving on to Gardens.
Yes. So shouldn't we be seeing Gardens
Yeah.
before us right now?
Yeah,
There it
Gardens.
is. Okay, there we go. I was taking on an existential journey there for a few seconds.
It's all right, guys. It's our spring break, and that does not mean we're on a break at all. We're very tired.
I'm about to take a break, though.
Lucky. Yeah, you're going on a cruise, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so jealous. All right, so
Puerto Vallarta.
now I'm more jealous. All right, so
That's why I didn't say anything. Like when we were on Ilios and you were looking out onto the cruise ship, I was like, I probably shouldn't say anything.
that's
right?
okay. All right, so this first fight's already begun. We do see Blank, unfortunately, does go down. Bonesaw back on that Pharah. Very, very little contest on them. Hopefully the Flares learned from their previous mistake and are going to make swaps here. They do have... Okay, so they had Joy on the Ashe, and they have Diva. But I'm going to be real, I think they need to make the honest swap here. Moira's just not going to be doing enough. It's just not enough.
Yeah, as soon as you say it's not enough, there you go. We've had so many predictions go awry that one, it's nice to have one that actually comes true there.
Look, I know how scary it is to go into a Pharah that knows what in the Nuggets they're doing. And when there is one like that, you need to put a lot of effort into taking them down. And we do see that instead, we're going to swap over to the Sombra, which could be very useful.
That's not the... I don't think that SMG really has that much damage there. This is interesting.
Panda, please do not put that teleporter at CT. Please don't. I am begging you. They put it there. Okay, they did, and it didn't get booped. I'm shocked. And Holy is actually also going to get... oh, no, Sombra, you are going to get deleted.
Lukachu is deleted, certainly, as Blank takes him out. Bonesaw with the barrage gets a double. Fulcrum still fighting on the point as the last tank alive. Now gets focused down, and now Meteors just need to take down Sombra, and that's everyone eliminated by the Flares, and Meteors are going to get at least 70% here.
So the understand your win condition goes both ways. You need to understand the other side's win condition as well. And in this case, it is using Bonesaw to just make space, using Blank to be annoying and follow up on Bonesaw's picks, as well as Holy. And then Holy is also able to protect the Baptiste from taking a lot of damage, as well as Barbecue. They don't have to peel at 2 different times for people. They just need to peel 1 at a time. And the Flares have not recognized that and done things to prevent the facilitating of those abilities to be used. So after this map, I want to see
Barbecue. Shatter.
Barbecue. That was not nice.
I mean, yeah, they're at 95%.
I get it.
Yeah.
It was valuable. It did what it was supposed to do.
Who's on the point?
I do believe it is actually the Sombra and the Tracer right now. Sombra went down. I think it might just be Tracer there. Yes, it is Tracer. So Lukachu's trying to send them an orb and help them out a little bit. They make it there. Let's see if it's enough. Judge is going to get a shatter. It's going to go down with 2, but they didn't take out that immortality first, so it got almost no value. But D.Va's very low. Let's see if they can take them down, because they are hurting on that health front, and they will. Bonesaw's going to go down. Blank's going to go down too. So finally, the point's going to flip, but that took a lot of ultimates to do so.
Takes a lot of ultimates, and not before the Meteors get to 99%. It's basically how it's worked out for the past 2 stages. On the first stage, they took it back, but weren't able to hold it, and the Meteors weren't able to take back the stage on Tower once Flares captured it, so we'll see which version of events plays out right now.
So right now, Joy does not need to be staying inside their invis here. They could have just popped out and just started peppering damage and could be way closer, if not already have their ultimate online before this full push came out from the side of the Meteors. Instead, they're going to wait and do a little bit of damage and just allow... Oh!
Oh, you hate to see it.
You hate
to see it.
I get it. I've thrown mine off the map too far. Flew too low or too close to the sun, so to speak, and Judge made them pay for it. That was absolutely beautiful, but the res is going to come out since the rotation was just pushed too far back. Pando, the only hope really there, is going to go down. EMP was used, but I do think Joy was completely annihilated before it managed to get value and fully go off. Coalescence is online, but oh yes, look at you. The rework was in your favor. You're going to be able to pop out the Coalescence, but there's a lot of damage going on to you, so you might have pulled time for your team, but I'm not sure if it's enough because your Reinhardt is very, very low.
It's just a trickle in for the Flares. The only one left is Fulcrum. Can they get onto the point? Doesn't look like it. And Meteor's getting the first win there.
All right, so next is Hybrid.
Score, can you, production, can you bring up the rules?
Escort.
Yeah. Can you bring up the rules of the game just one more time, just to confirm there, so we can see? Yes, it is Control, Escort, Assault, and Hybrid. Thank you very much.
All right, Escort. Not Rialto.
No, hopefully not. Wouldn't that be something if it's 2 times in a row here?
Knowing, I mean, like, I get comfort, I get that, but
oh, it does look like we have. There you go.
I heard things from production, and I'm very happy now.
Yes, it's in fact going to be Havana that's brought out.
I am satisfied. Havana is different. It's a shakeup, so I'm excited. I am also very excited to see what comps are brought out. If we see a cheeky close hold, good luck.
Yeah, we have seen, well, it certainly worked out on Rialto. That was the other Escort map we saw today, and the close hold worked out there. But Havana is much more known for the close hold.
Yes, and it works so heavily when done properly with the right comp that it can take off so much time, but it also comes down to, is your team going to be working together enough to allow and facilitate that, because it does require a lot of communication and a lot of on-point rotations. Otherwise, you leave people vulnerable and you can easily get deleted.
Well, let's find out how it works out as we head on to Havana, the second match of this best-of-5 for the Meteors and the Flares. Meteors had to fight very hard there as the closest control map that we saw all night, so both these teams do look to be pretty evenly matched as we're ready to head into round 2. And this, this is this is Havana. You know, they positioned it in such a way that it was so dark, I thought it was going to be Dorado instead.
That's perfectly valid.
Especially with the lights on the top, you know, just that one angle that they took there.
All right, so for the Flares,
I never noticed that.
There's a pigeon eating some pie? I'm so jealous. All right, so we've got the flares here. They're definitely not... Okay, Sigma, you are being bold. Yes, they're going for a close hold comp without a close hold comp. And in return, the Meteors pull out the Bastion on Bonesaw to just start mowing people down, and they've taken out Squared. You'll see Squared immediately. So there goes the bulk of sustain. This means stay alive a little bit longer and die on point. Panda Squad's going to go down. Reinhardt's hurting, and there's not a lot of heals that Lucio can offer. We do see Sig use the kinetic grasp. They are going to get very low. Fulcrum's going to go down to chum his thumb quite quickly, and now the retreat's happening. That's not what you want to do when you do a close hold. You don't retreat, you die on payload. Baptiste, you should not have pushed forward. You might die for that. And you pop the in more. Okay, that's going to make things a little bit rough. And Pando was the last to die, so that means the reset's going to take even longer here. Die on point faster. Die faster, in the words of Shifty.
You know, it's kind of weird. You said they went for the close hold without the close hold, and they're also with the Bastion going for the pirate ship without the pirate ship.
Well, okay, so when you have the Bassie, it is perfectly accessible, though I would have suggested going onto the high ground on the right side, not on the yellow truck.
Sure.
That's a very bold move coming out from Bonesaw, but like anticipating the close hold and going with the Bassie is a perfectly fine thing. But when you go for the close hold, you need to do basically a wall and maul comp. You can't do such a comp that does not have a lot of defensive capabilities and sustain capabilities like the Flares decided to go with, because you saw immediately as C-Squared went down, everyone else just got annihilated.
And you saw that right there. He was trying to hide behind information stand there, but it really, with that amp matrix, that Bastion, with the amp matrix and the mercy pocket, that Bastion just deleted the shield health immediately.
I want to see C-Squared swap over to the Ana here, and then we do have Joy over on the Hanzo, so that's more than enough damage to pepper down the Reinhardt shield, and then just land an anti and just wait for Judge to use their grasp, land the anti, and then just let Chumma's Fum, well, not Chumma's Fum, let your DPS go to town on them, and have your Lucio amp and your Reinhardt. It'll work. It'll do it. You just got to play to your advantages here, as we hear tank formation go off, and Frozen's going to go down, I believe. Yes.
He does manage to survive long enough to pick up the double he was looking for as Panda and Pando get taken out.
Oh, the Panda Squad.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to tell them apart right now. But you know what? Do you really need to tell the team apart when all of them have been taken out?
No, you don't. Okay, so we got C-Squared still chilling on the amplification matrix. We have Beat, we're gonna have Deadeye, and we're gonna have Graphitic Flux. If Judge can get Flux off and not be annihilated in the process, because they're not going to have a lot of sustain heals during it unless C-Squared lands every single shot on them. And then Panda Squad uses Deadeye in conjunction with that, possibly using an Immor at the same time while he's safely inside this little area here. And it looks like that is the route they're going to take, but they're not going to have the support ults to be with them on it. It could be huge. It just needs to be perfectly timed.
There goes a Dragon Strike out from Joe, is going to take out Joy as Panda's still sitting on this. Deadeye goes down to 5 after meeting with that Bastion.
5 health. Oh, and Fulcrum and C-Squared and Judge are all going to go down.
Panda is still at just 1 health bar right now. Gets taken out finally by Bonesaw. That's the second point taken by the Meteors.
We do see Judge and Fulcrum are going to swap over to the Orisa Sigma, so some pull rock damage is going to happen. They do have some quite long range support here. Wasn't Fulcrum already? Yes, Fulcrum was already on the Sigma. They probably swapped to something else before I looked over, just anticipating to go try and stall out a little bit. But they have a comp that can work, but it's going to be interesting to see if they can counter Bonesaw. I mean, right now, honestly, use the Dragon to separate the team. Run the heck in.
There goes the Dragon out. Is it going to get anything or separate them? They do manage to focus down Joe. That's going to be really the first hold that the Flares had. And unless the tank turns it around, that's going to be an unfortunate usage of it. He's trying to stay alive, manages to get 2 though, but now he's focused down with the full might of the Flares, and that's going to be it for the Meteors' push. Although, maybe not. Chumma's Fum is still trying to keep it going, but it looks like they do have to fully reset here.
I'm wanting to see Pando take some more creative positioning rather than just being right behind their team, because as soon as Judge goes down, Pando's going to go down just based off positioning. They can go up to the high ground a little bit, get those discords peeking in and out of LOS, the enemy team, and just calling those out and doing some cheeky poke damage as opposed to putting themselves on the low ground like they are right there to the front left. It's just putting you in too vulnerable of a position for how squishy that little Omnic can be.
Accretion is going to knock Chum his thumb off the payload. There goes the Dragon Strike. Already picks up Joy. Pando uses the Transcendence to keep everyone else alive. Amp Matrix dropped by their BAP. And Supercharger also used by Judge, who's taking a whole lot of damage, gets taken down to the final few bars of health, manages to heal for a little while, but it's not going to be enough, and Chum is Fum on the Baby Diva is going to continue doing damage onto the Meteor's Barrage from Bonesaw, taking out the final few teammates of the Flares. That looks like it's going to be it. Meteors take it all. And really good start to Havana, getting all 3 points, not the easiest task.
And with a lot of time left on the clock. Let's see what the spicy replay is. Oh, it's the Pilot Diva Warlord. Doc, I hope you're watching, because Doc is not in the facility with us right now to see that moment. That was beautiful. And then we followed up with Bonesaw, who made the swap over to the Fire, which is quite smart based off the composition they were having to run into, and immediately got their barrage up, I think, in almost one fight. That's absolutely massive. Well, look at the pretty colored houses.
Yeah. I also gotta hand it to the developers here. If they ever want to make a Washington, D.C. stage, they've already made the main landmark there. That's what's called efficiency there.
Reuse the assets.
Yeah, just reuse and, yeah. Just maybe a little bit of a different texture here and there, and you're good to go.
Good to go.
Alrighty. Speaking of map assets, we can see a nice little kind of outdoor cafe there. We also see Joy still sticking up. It's going to try the Bastion for themselves there.
What are you doing?
Hey, Joe is on the Torb. So that's going to be... If Baratel was here, he'd sure be happy.
Yes, I understand. And it's nice to see that we're not seeing an immediate... I don't think this is going to be a close hold attempt. I think this is definitely going to be a little bit different. Oh, nope, never mind. I was wrong. They're doing a close hold. They're doing a close hold with a unique comp, but this one can work because it's a Pharah. It's the Pharah who's basically playing the role of the Mei, and instead of going for wall and maul, you're going for pepper damage and just backing people off. But Mercy, oh, you got lucky after Bonesaw went down. I guess Joy anticipated the close hold, but anticipated it to be a little bit more, a little different than what it is right now, and they can go classic pirate ship now that Pharah's down.
Hops off the payload there to get the angle. Still looking for a pickup here or there. Fulcrum getting one on to Delirious. Meteor's not looking like they can necessarily hold here. They're going for the soft reset.
So here's the issue I see right now with the Flares composition. Because they've chosen to have Echo as their mobile hero, the way that it's going to work out is Bassi is actually most likely going to be the one stuck on payload, and that makes him a very easy and vulnerable target here to retake if the Meteors realize that and push forward, and they are going to start trying to, but before then, they're going to take out Bonesaw, and we're also going to see Vank go down, as will Joe, so despite the creativity coming out of the comp from the Flares, it's still working.
And they're just going to continue chasing down the Meteors, trying to get a stagger on top of that.
Fulcrum, do the lift. Do the lift, Fulcrum, please. I want to see it now. Oh, never mind. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. You're very low.
Okay, do it now. Okay, now. He's still waiting. Throws the accretion out instead. There it is.
Both tanks are in it. Sigma's probably going to go down. Yes! Sigma goes down! Baptiste is very low, but the immortality is not taken out fast enough. Orisa, though. Orisa's within reach of the beam from Echo. Now both supports are backed up into this room. Oh, no, Baptiste. Bye-bye. Thank you, Fulcrum. That made me very happy.
And they just might give... well, they still have enough to respawn here. To recontest, I mean, here in the factory.
They do, and they have quite a few ults to do so. Let's just hope we see 2 get popped. Not all of them get popped at once. Maybe just Bongo and Lift, or just Bongo.
They're going to use Supercharger, and there goes Valkyrie as well. They're also going to use the tank form. The Flare's using just about everything here to try to secure this last checkpoint. One res goes on to Bonesaw. Chum is Fum almost eliminated, but manages to heal back up. It looks like they're just going to surrender this to the third and final part of the stage.
And you can see that we have Graphitic Flux from Fulcrum almost ready to go. We have Amplification Matrix as well as almost having another copy. So the ult economy for the side of the Flares, despite looking like they used a lot, is still working. Okay, we see a Bastion copy come out, but it was in the middle of the alleyway here on the mid. That's a bit rough, but it works out in Bonesaw's favor because their Sigma came to their rescue.
Now he's going to go into tank form, try to go after the Mercy here.
Oh, no. Oh, that could have been rough. And we do see a beautiful combo there between Sigma and Hanzo from the Meteors.
Joe trying to take out either the Echo or the Mercy here in mid-air, trying to be pixel perfect. They're just going to fall off the edge instead.
I mean, if you have the option between going into a pit or giving ult charge, go with the pit.
Yeah, that's... I understand that. It's going to have to be quite a hold here from the Meteors if they want to keep this going.
Yeah, because look at that time bank right now for the Flares. They have over 4 minutes on the clock. Granted, it's still going to take probably 2 to 3 fights to push it all the way forward at this point, so they'll probably be about equal to the Meteors if they can make it the next 3 fights and actually be the ones to be the victors and push forward.
Copy brought out onto the Sigma. There might be 2 back-to-back Gravitic Fluxes. There indeed are onto the Meteors. Joe still using kind of the long-range part of this map to his advantage, picking off Platoric Joy there. Panda Squad eliminates their Mercy. Their BAP is also going to be eliminated with no healing left for the Meteors. It's going to be very hard for them to keep surviving.
We do hear Panda Squad get res. Sigma's barrier is extremely low. Hanzo's low. Hopefully Orisa called these locations out so that they can go just get that Sigma. No, they did not. So they will not chase after the Sig, and Sig's going to heal up. So that's okay. Judge still very close to the bongos here, and it looks like Bonesaw also is going to have theirs as well as Frozen. Joe also has the Dragons.
Judge using the supercharger as they push on to the final part.
Oh,
Here
Joy,
gets caught out in the Dragons almost as they
Oh.
use the tank. Manages to escape though, has to take out the immortality field, but now only really has the supercharger left to aim at. Well, it's going to head to overtime here with a pretty even time between both of these teams.
I like it. Though, I'd like to also point out that Joy stuck to the Bassie the entire time.
That is
they
true.
were that confident in their skills on Bastion to just stay no matter what. And I don't know if that is just speaking to boldness or probably not the smartest move, but it worked out.
You know, if there's anything I've learned today, it's when you use the word bold, it's like you saying a very nice way of saying, I wouldn't try that.
It is, because it can be punished if the Meteors had taken a moment and realized that Joy was putting themselves in very advantageous positions. They could have capitalized on that. Instead, they kind of chose their comp and they stuck with it, and they also got staggered quite a bit in the right in front of that long push area as opposed to inting on the payload and getting out. So didn't work out in their favor, and Joy just managed to capitalize on it consistently.
Meteors getting ready for their first push here. We'll see how long they can go. It's really, neither team has really held the other team for more than just kind of one team fight or engagement when they've been defending here. So neither of these teams have really been successful at defending so far. So it's a question of if the Flares manage to kind of get it together here.
Joy doing it again. I see you. But you're on defense this time. Let's see if that works, because we do have Joe on the Reaper. And it does not look like there's a lot of damage coming out from that Bassie, despite having it, just because of the range.
They're going to get a little closer, though, now. So now kind of the opportunity for that Bastion to do some damage. Fulcrum is also holding the high ground here, but right now, he's the one who gets the first pick. Fulcrum eliminating Joe, going to be followed by Delirious. Flares are making a very big charge in their first push here.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Reinhardt. Frozen's going to be the second to last to go down, as will Chum is Fum. One thing you got to keep in mind is that if you're one of the last two people standing and you're a tank or a support, you need to die fast. Very, very fast. You can't stagger yourselves out like those two just did.
And they don't have the time. They're only going to have less than a minute now to keep pushing forward. And just having one hold here could be all the difference for the Flares defending. There goes Pando. Is going to be kind of trying to pocket either the Echo. Yeah, he's going to try to pocket the Echo here as Judge sets up on top of this card here. There goes a copy being brought out by Panda onto the D.Va.
Oh, self-destruct could be huge here if they use it around the barriers. It might be enough. The pull didn't come in time, but still it picks up two. It did pick up one, and then another one was picked up by Joy.
And the copy was brought out, it looks like, by the Meteors onto Bonesaw, but where is he right now? And I don't think he's going to be able to really turn it around with that copy. That's going to be overtime ended with Meteors in prime position to win here.
Yeah, that copy should have been saved. Phoenix might be able to get a touch here. Never mind, the lift's going to come out and dash all hopes for Phoenix to get a touch on that payload. And Joy, I don't know how, but you're doing it. You're doing it on the Bassie.
Yeah, manages to really bring out the Bastion clutch here. So we're ready to head into the final section of overtime. Just going to be one more push here. The Meteors are going to have 2.5 minutes to get to the next point here.
Not even. They just have to get a little bit around the corner.
Yeah, not even. It's kind of half of the distance.
They're going the distance.
All right, here we go.
Oh my gosh, Joy.
It's worked out for them.
I understand it's working, but now it's just like, is that your bread and butter?
Just might be their hidden comfort pick.
We do see Bonesaw, though, is going to pop out on the Pharah. And yes, while Bastion can be used against a Pharah, it can be a little bit interesting if they don't get assistance and they're stuck kind of out in the open. We'll see how that works out, because that means Pando has to either be focusing on Panda or they have to be focusing on Joy to keep them alive. And that could open the field for Joy to either pick off the Baptiste or pick off the Bastion at some point in time. We'll have to wait and see how that works out.
As we browse the street, the street wares here. Man, I am losing my ability for all cognition right now. Let's just get to the overtime.
We do see the close hold being brought out immediately. Both Mercies are gonna fall, so that leaves DPS open quite a bit to being annihilated. Meteors are choosing to go with the Angry Birds comp here to try and counter that Bastion, which could work out in their favor, but it's not currently because Bassie picked off both. Now we have Fulcrum grabbing one and then Panda Squad grabbing another. Thankfully, this time there was not a lot of staggering for the Meteors, but at this point in time, someone's got to go a fast hero. Delirious should swap off that Mercy and go Lucio. They need to get this touch in here very quickly.
There's gonna two Echoes. They're gonna meet each other, and one dashes away quickly, and they're gonna hold him to this doorway here, pushing so much damage through as the Rhine tries to get the team through, but a lot of damage with this boosted Echo here. And Platoric Joy is going to be eliminated finally, but they get rezzed very quickly, gets to a safer spot here and tries to rally back as Panda is able to take out their BAP, and there goes the Bastion, able to take out...
Dragon Strike!
And he does manage to throw it out barely, but it's only going to pick up one. That might just be enough, though, as Panda's going to lose there.
All right, so I didn't think that the push from the Meteors was going to work because they all decided to come through one door like lemmings. In this case, because you know their main powerhouse is the Bastion, take a two-prong approach and go through two different entrances, because that means Bastion can only focus one at a time. And if he is not going to look at you, or if he pulls his attention away from the main prong that's going in to focus you instead, it opens up so much room for your team.
Now as we're waiting for the last push here from the Flares.
Oh, Judge has the bongos. Oh, the lift though, and oh, Bassie's coming through. Bassie's going straight through with their ultimate. Both Immore and Kinetic Grasp to use another Dragons from Bonesaw though. Wow. Holy cow, that's back-to-back fights that Bonesauce popped the dragons.
And that just is probably going to be enough for the Flares to actually hold it and get the win here.
My goodness, Bonesaw, that was incredible. Holy cow, I can't believe that worked out. I can't believe you pulled that off, but kudos to you, dude.
Well, it looks like we are actually in for a very, it's going to be a good one. Both these teams are tied at 1 apiece, and we're heading into Assault next. So knowing that it's going to go to a Game 4, I think we actually probably want to take a break now and get all set up.
Yeah, is there a chance? Can we?
I'm pretty sure we can. But anyway, if or production is just going to whittle us down to the bone right now.
We already have Bonesaw doing that, but okay.
Yeah, that is good.
That's fine. So we have Assault. I don't really know what I'm expecting here. I'm hoping that we're going to see Volskaya Industries, but it's probably going to be Havana. Well, not Havana, Hanamura.
Well, I'm going to try to throw to a break right now anyway. We'll take a short break and be back with the second half of this match. You are not going to want to miss this to see who wins, so we'll be right back after this.
Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your guard adventure.
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Welcome back to this broadcast of Esports Tower in Overwatch. We are currently watching the Meteors take on the Flares in the grand finals in this best of 5, and both these teams have won one game apiece, and so it's going to be very exciting to see who wins because we're guaranteed to see at least game number 4. So both these teams very evenly matched. We'll see how it turns out. I'm still your host, Jacob Jem Palmer, joined by Artie Nerdy Rain, calling all the action for you today. Now we head to Assault. We knew it had to happen sooner or later. We were going to see it no matter what happened. Now we're guaranteed at least a game 4. It looks like we're in for the long haul.
Yes, and so I made my prediction. It's probably going to be Hanamura. It seems like that's everyone hates that map equally, so everyone picks it. But I really want to see the Sky Industries.
Well, isn't that just kind of the ultimate the ultimate line to sum up competitive esports? Everyone hates it so much, then that's why they pick it.
Well, I mean, like beyond that, so you've got Hanamura, you've got Volskaya Industries as far as 2CP maps go, and then Temple of Anubis. We might see Temple of Anubis, maybe, but I feel like it plays way too heavily into Bonesaw's Farah.
It reminds me of a quote actually from Doc, and that was someone was joining the Overwatch room and they say, "Oh yeah, I love this game. It's my favorite game in the whole world." And Doc said, "Oh yeah, we'll change that really fast." So
accurate.
Okay, both these teams are ready to head in, and you know what? It won't be their favorite game anymore if we see a tie here. That is the one thing I do not want to see, so please do not make that come true.
Do it.
We can take a look here at the ultimate. See, Nerdy has already kind of suffered a lot through casting with a 10-hour shift, so all of their soul is destroyed, so now they just want to make sure mine is shattered as well. Let's take a look at the rules to see how this is going to work out. It's 6v6 competitive. It's a best of 5, and the map order is Control, Escort, Assault, and Hybrid. We're into Assault right now as both these teams are tied 1 apiece. Let's see what has been chosen, and it is going to be Volskaya.
All right, who's going to get Volskaya this evening? I'm interested to see. Oh, finally we got Bonesaw on the Genji with actually Vank on the Ana. So it'll be interesting to see if we see some spicy nano blades coming out. Whereas for the flares, they got the half double bubble. Once again, I'm calling it a half double bubble because typically when you're running that, you don't have a Mercy, you have a Brigitte. Yes, I understand wanting, like you wanting to damage boost Joy, but ultimately when you going against a dive composition that's going to be coming out from that Genji and the Diva from the side of the Meteors, you need someone to protect your Mercy, and the Coach Gun's just not going to be enough.
Here we go. Flare's going to be the first ones to defend here. As Meteors move, they're going for a sneaky hold here with Judge and Panda going into the back line, looking out for that Mercy. How the call-out's going to be. The Mercy falls, and quickly is going to be the Cassidy as well. Meteors look like they're going to be held here. There you
well,
go.
When you don't check the high ground, that's going to happen. Hopefully, Holy Chubb realized their mistake and will go up there this time and ask Genji to accompany them on their journey to that high ground.
Looks like they're going to push up just a little bit here. Wait for the whole team to regroup here. Question is, do they check the high ground here or make the same mistake?
I don't believe Tracer's up there this time, so choosing not to check the high ground is not going to be punished. However, hopefully next time they will, if they need to redo this push.
Platoric Jorah already getting the first pick for the Flares. It's answered back by Bonesaw. And Blank now pushing the Meteors into an advantage. Platoric Jorah is res, though. They have managed to make their way onto the point, have kind of flipped the battlefield around here. But overall, great job from Bonesaw. A triple is going to lead to Meteors holding the point.
We have Judge going for the Primal Rage. Doing a lot of damage, not quite enough to take anybody out, and they will go down. So Meteors managed, I believe, will be able to take this point. Tracer's recall has come out. They're on the high ground. We do see that they're being chased.
And there we go. That's the first point taken by the Meteors. Now we move on to number 2. We'll see if kind of the snowbally avalanche nature of 2CP is brought out here.
All right,
I mean, they're going to have the ults.
Yeah, they have a lot of them. Flares are very close to their own as well, but they're not quite there. And
Nanoblade
first, the Nanoblade might be enough. Ash is very squishy. Oh, the bubble. There we go. So there goes Ash. Mercy is now next easy pickings. We also see that the Primal's going to go out. Self-Destruct's going to pick up one. Genji finds one. There was another that went down. Vank's going to go down as well, but that's not that big of a deal when you have so many people on the other team getting deleted. And Barbecue picks up a 3-piece 2 at a time right there between Fulcrum and C-Squared.
It's going to go down to the last tick here. Blank using the Deadeye to try to keep them off the point. And there you go, Meteors. That's what 2CP is known for.
Yes, indeed. You got Volskayed.
I gotta say, though, it was kind of interesting that the Ashe just hiding in that one room was able just kind of to burn out the whole Nano Blade.
Yeah.
just by distracting him long enough.
So this is what I'm talking about here, and the need of having, you know, that the Brigitte protect your Ana. Ana kind of just became a sitting duck at a certain point because of the lack of speed and the lack of protection that she had. So hopefully the Flares learn from that mistake, and if they choose to run a double bubble style comp again, they opt for the Brigitte over the Mercy. The utility Brigitte provides is just so much higher, protecting your Ana, because your Ana is going to be the main point of heals no matter what between a Mercy and Ana comp. Instead, they're going to take a harder pick. Never mind. Okay, yes, they're doing it. They're going with the Ana Brigitte pick. That is what I like to see. And they have a decent play here. However, the tanks don't synergize as well if Fulcrum were to be going with a D.Va. There we go. There it is. It's perfect.
So we actually have a full comp that you approve of now.
Yes, I'm sorry to be super, super judgy, but it's my job.
Hey, you yeah. You just took the words out of my mouth. You were doing your job. You can see probably some super secret plans there. I wonder. No, that's not. I was thinking if that was the robot model they're using for push, that would have been a great Easter egg left in there.
I actually wonder if you watch that one long enough, if that's the one that actually does the robot that's in the background of point A here.
Okay. We'll see how well the Meteors can hold the Flares here. Flares making their way to the first archway there. Their Tracer manages to get through, but is quickly chased back.
And that Tracer made a mistake because they forced their Zarya to use their secondary friendly bubble too soon and did not get a lot of charge, whereas using it on Winston would have gotten so much more. And they did use it there, but Winston was retreating, so that's a miscommunication on that part. Just, again, not getting as much value out of that util as they could be.
Now they're going to try to push through here. The Zarya already getting a pretty big charge there on their main fire.
Hey, that was spicy. I like that.
Still, overall, Flare's not making that much progress, and as Panda gets eliminated by Blank, it's going to be yet another hold by the Meteors, and that's basically all they have to do right now, whittle down as much time as they can.
I mean, it's okay. Typically, when you're running a comp like the one that the Flares are running, you're really banking on C squared to get the Nano. And I know it seems like you want to give it to Joyd and go for the Nano Blade, but because they have Blank on that Cassidy, I highly advise that they just go for the Nano Monkey here. But they got to do it soon, and they got to go after the squishies. They can't try and use it to take out the tanks. Otherwise, Barbecue's going to get their ultimate up as well. We do see that for the side of the Meteors. The Nano Blade is online, and it's going to get popped. Just the blade, though. No
yeah,
nano.
Just the blade, actually. It's only going to pick up 3.
Just mowing down the competition.
Who needs the nano? Where's this Tracer is trying to make something happen there with the flank and managed to take out one. That's going to be really the only elimination that's been brought onto the Meteors, though.
And I think Delirious is going to be there in time, yes, to get the res off. Going here forward, though, we've got almost every ult online for the side of the Flares. Almost all of them are online for the Meteors as well because they only expunged 2 during that last fight. I really want to see the Nano come out, but not the pop of the Primal. Just Nano, the monkey, and then grab.
There goes the Nano Blade.
It's a full blade.
And with the help of the Pulse Bomb, it's going to pick up 2 right away. Self-Destruct and Primal is brought out by Barbecue. They're going to get hit with the Sleep Dart now. They were being mowed down as Flares using all their ultimates to get the first point.
All right, now because they locked down this point, I want to see Panda Squad go forward, charge up that Pulse Bomb right away, but instead they're going to go down, which is not something we want. That's okay. They'll get insta-spawn as long as this point's locked down quickly. No, they won't, but they'll get spawned in time to get the good spawn. But they popped so many ults, the opportunity to get Volskayed here, at least from the perspective of the Meteors, has greatly decreased.
Well, no matter, even if they take it right away, they're going to have less time than the Meteors do at overtime here. Fulcrum does have this Graviton Surge here.
The combo's not really there yet, though, so it's better for them to hang on to it rather than pop it haphazardly. Otherwise, it's just going to be a wasted ult that doesn't get a lot of value if people don't go down. But Delirious has gone down, so they might have a chance here. And Pulse from Panda is online, so Pulse grab? Spicy Pulse grab?
The only thing brought out quite yet is that Diva from Holy. Now they're going to use everything.
Spicy! Yes!
Just what you were looking for. That's a Cassidy in trouble. Alrighty, it's going to head to overtime now.
Yes, but the Flares did not Volskaya the Meteors fast enough, so they are down by 1 minute and 13 seconds. But still, nicely done. That was the pace was not so much in control of the Flares at the beginning of this fight, because it took forever for this fight to actually like reach its apex. But they eventually got it, and this grab, oh, beautiful fulcrum.
At that point, Deadeye isn't able to turn it around, so here we go.
I wish Fish was still here right now.
Yeah, well, he'd probably say I told you so.
Oh, yes. Wow, the face of that mech is very ominous.
It is. Technically, but they all need human pilots, correct?
I believe
these
those
particular
ones do, yes.
Yeah, so technically, that's not the face. It's the window to the actual face, like the operator.
Still creepy.
I suppose so, because you'd see a face within a face. And so.
Yeah, that's actually even creepier. All right, so let's take a look at these comps. The Meteors sticking with something very similar to actually basically what they just had. Flares going with the full double bubble. Like it, you. Please don't swap. Please. Stick with the brig. I'm begging you.
Does look like they are sticking there. All right, here we go.
Now, I really want to see Panda not go for the wraparound play because they're going to get picked out really quickly. Instead, play it slow like you're intended to do here and just charge up that nano, because Judge just took a disgusting amount of damage there. And we're already at 30% to the nano, whereas Vank only has 20. So C-Squared is already in the advantageous position here. Halfway to nano, fight's not even over yet. No one's died, so that's what you want. Panda got super low. Blank goes down. If they can prevent the res, and I think they did, yeah, they can push forward off of this and just slowly charge that nano up.
Meteors are going to get their res, but they're going to have their Diva mowed down out of their mech. Judge and Panda picking up 2 eliminations, followed by Lukachu. That's going to be the first point taken for the Flares, and there's a good chance there. If they just do the full snowball here, they can get 4 points.
I'm hoping they do. I hope I hope we do have the opportunity. Yes, C-Squared should get good spawned. Oh, no. Okay, please be careful pushing forward. You do not have your Ana right now. You're going to have Nano boost, but somehow Vank is closer to the Nano than C-Squared. Doesn't matter, though, because they're going to have to take time to get here, and by that time, if someone just takes a little chip damage, it's plenty of time for C-Squared to get their ult up, and we could see a disgusting pulse bomb as well landed onto the Blank or Ana because of them not having any sort of like major ability to defend if Holy Chubb's not there.
Nano Blade now online for the Meteors if they can pull it off. It is brought out. It already takes out one. Where are the others? It's facing this Winston here to burn it down, but manages to take him out. Now Barbecue also eliminating Platoric, and that is a huge hold for the Meteors.
All right, so it did expunge 2 ultimates, though, so was it worth it? We'll have to wait and see, because the ult advantage is now heavily in the Flares' favor, but the Meteors decide to pop this Valkyrie here in order to sustain and try and push back the Flares. And we hear Pulse go off, picks up Blank, self-destruct drops, doesn't get anyone. Blade goes forward.
Oh, but they take out Platoric with a punch to the face!
The Mercy res, though, was left completely uncontested on point right in front of the Flares, and that's a huge mistake.
And that is Brave punching the nano-boosted Genji in the face. Well, he has the Blade, and that's going to be a hold for the Meteors. They can win this now.
The Flares did get 37.4%, though, so that is something. But the Meteors Volskaya'd harder than the Flares did in round 1, so...
Yeah, it should be in their favor. But we've had our predictions go awry before today, so...
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with it. Prove us wrong. But now, unfortunately, my wish won't come true. There is going to be a definitive victor here.
Yeah, there has to be here. So my wish actually is the one.
Yep. If the Flares had not gotten any percentage on point 2 and just took point 1, we could have seen a draw, but now we can't. My hopes are dashed. That's fine. I see how it is, guys. Bonesaw. Bonesaw.
Bastion.
Oh
They're
my.
going for the Symmetra teleport.
You guys are going to just... Oh, my gosh. Okay.
Okay. Hey, they're bringing something cheeky out here. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Well, if we look at it...
What is that fly? What is that? Is that
Oh
a
my
car?
gosh, that's a banner from the inside of the spawn room. I don't know how... I think it doesn't have like an actual hitbox, so it just can get thrown outside. That's actually really funny. So they're going for a Symmetra TP, and if they can do it properly, it might work, because the Flares don't really have anything to counter that unless C-Squared can get an antsy on it. Oh my god,
they
it's
managed
working!
to get through.
It's working! Oh my god! Fulcrum's like, oh no. That's a lot of charge, though, off that initial jump from their monkey, but Fulcrum cannot go down. They have to be careful. And they do have their own personal primary up, and now they're going to have their secondary, so Monkey can jump up yet again, but they've lost their high ground positioning, so that might be a little bit more difficult for them to continue to get value. And Meteors are just wrapping around like it's Ring Around the Rosie right now. They're in perfect position to just mow people down slowly but surely. They did expunge the... Nope, Teleporter's still up, and we do see Judge go down. Joy's going to take out Barbecue, though, so things are even enough now.
A lot of damage being pushed onto Panda right now. Still surviving, though. Oh, gonna face the Lucio, who just gets right in his face. And there goes the Amp Matrix thrown down right on the point. That's gonna help Meteors to get their first tick here. They should have about a minute and a half, no, minute 45 if they manage to get a pick here or there. And there goes Blank with the double. That is probably going to wrap it up for the first point. And yeah, a minute 45 left to take the second.
And they're going to have Bash and ult. They're almost going to have Wall up. They're very close to Bongo. Judge does have ult, though, and they're almost having that nano boost online. So if Judge can just take some poke damage here early on, C-Squared can get the nano boost ready to go, and they can counter the Meteors with just a nano boosted Monkey, and then post nano boost going down, just go crazy. But we do see Joy is also decided to pop it on the Bastion, and Panda swapped over to the Hanzo. Oh, C-Squared.
There goes the tank, is going to tear through Lukachu and C-Squared, and they aren't going to have healing, but the Flare is still managing to stay alive and turn it around despite having no healing, thanks in no part to that Primal Rage used by Judge.
Oh yes, and I would like to point out to anyone that's looking at our current on-screen UI, the Meteors are at 1 and the Flares are at 1 for the map differential, so we are not quite at match point for either one of these teams yet.
I mean, maybe that's production hoping that we are.
Good luck, guys.
Just waiting. They're going to have enough time for one more push, and they do have the Bongo available. But there is a Nano Boost available for the Flares as well.
And Nano Monkey? Nano Monkey!
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh, Panda Squad just going logzo on these guys, picking up a 3-piece, beautiful.
And, you know, you'd think, hey, they burned off one of the ultimates, but 2 more just came online, and hey, it's enough for a great combo as well. Gonna have that Graviton Surge, can use the Dragon Strike with it as well. Meteor still held on to that Supercharger.
We have Grav Dragons. If this is done early enough, the Meteors are not going to be able to counter it. I want to see it get pulled off perfectly.
Yeah, Delirious still isn't at the sound barrier yet.
Yeah, but between now and when they get to the point they can get it up, especially with enough poke damage being done, so long as Vank does not take all of the healing.
Oh, he's going to have to deal with this Bastion, though.
Like
they are taking this long way around here, though.
Between fights, if you are a Baptiste and it's just poke damage, let your Lucio do it, because you're taking away their ability to easily get their ultimate ready to go. Like, it's just not worth the extra healing that you get.
They're going to use the Gravitic Flux right onto this Bastion here, and the combo isn't able to be brought out. Instead, it's Bonesaw with the double, followed up by the Orisa using the Supercharger. Judge is eliminated, followed by Platoric. Meteors look like they have found a way as the timer hits 0 to still win this. Oh, but there's one still contesting. Panda Squad eliminated by the mine, and that's it. Meteors get the win.
All right, now we are at 1 to 2 meters at match point as we move into hybrid.
Whew, what a match here. Now, unfortunately, though, with hybrid, it probably means all of our ability to try to predict what the next stage will be has been taken away, since we know what it probably is going to be.
Scrims Row. It's going to be Scrims Row.
Yeah, probably. In fact, I don't really see that much of a reason to try to guess any other way.
I can give you a reason. Stop facilitating the dang Bastion play, so go with Blizzard World where it's not as easy to pull off. Like, there you go. There's a reason not to do it.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's just,
like,
we'll see if they listen, but I don't think they are going to listen.
He can get so much value on attack and defense on Scrims Row, and both these teams are being relentless with the cheese.
I love that Nerdy has slowly written out a thesis here.
Yeah, I mean, like, you can kind of already see it in front of me here. Just go with Blizzard World. If we're done with the bread and butter, the cheese of the Bastion, I'm already getting high cholesterol. Let's swap over to Blizzard World.
Well, we'll have to see what is brought out here. Let's get to the fourth stage here with the Meteors at match point, but every one of these fights has been really close going into overtime, so the Flares do not want to get rolled here. They're going to have choice of stage here, whatever they think is going to give them the best chance of pushing this to a game 5. So let's see indeed what they chose.
Don't pick Numbani thinking it doesn't play in either.
Oh, we actually have the call here. Oh, best of 3. Okay, You know what? Never mind here. So you know what? We don't have to see Kings Row.
I am satisfied with that. Okay.
And that was a pretty exciting end there on those guys.
I will take it. I will happily take that one and walk away with it. I'm happy I didn't have to see Kings Row for another time.
Right.
Not happy I had to see Rialto so much. So if you hear me right now, know that if I watch this next week, because I'm not going to be on desk, and I see Scrims Row and Rialto pulled out that many times again, I might heavily judge.
Okay, well, we'll have to see. We might have to leave that up to Judge himself, though. And as we're speaking of the actual players, who would you bring out for the player of the game?
It has to be Bonesaw for me. I am heavily leaning on that. Like, yeah, we did see some incredible Bastion play coming out from Joy, but the counterplay from Bonesaw on Havana was so clutch that I have to give it to him. I mean, yes, Joy, you had some fantastic ultimates, especially on Kings Row in the earlier games, but the clutch gameplay that came out from Bonesaw is going to be my vote today.
All right, let's see who gets player of the game right now. We'll see if production agrees with Artie's pick.
Nope, it's
Joy.
Joy.
Might actually be Joy.
It's Joy.
Yeah.
Hey, we got player pictures in now.
Hey, that's nice.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
It's kind of nice to see that, too. Give him a bit of recognition. And okay, this was a great rip tire here.
Yes. There were multiple fantastic rip tires, and I can't believe how quickly Joy got the rip tire up after that. This is, like, literally the next fight. Like, Joy did not die. They did not get off this high ground. And then they just do this bold as heck, I'm going to go in the backline and rip tire from here moment. And kaboom.
Well, it's brought to you by Idaho Central Credit Union, who believes a great player makes a team more successful, just like Idaho Central's helping members achieve financial success. Platoric Joy is your ICCU player of the game. And even when the Flares, this was the one that helped them rally back to victory. Unfortunately, this was the one, the only thing left for the tank form here was the bongo.
That's okay. Congratulations,
But
Joy.
you know what? They were winning, and that's what matters.
Yes, wow.
So do you have any final thoughts?
Yeah, so this isn't really orientated towards these teams that we saw near the end of the night. This is my advice going forward to the teams that we saw at the very beginning, and that is definitely know your win conditions. Understand the synergies that occur within comps and why they exist, so that you aren't making swaps just for comfort or for what you think will get value. You need to be thinking what will add value to your team's composition and playing to the win condition that your composition has. If there isn't a clear one, it's not a true comp, and it's not really going to work. It might work against some teams, but at the other teams, it will not. So always keep in mind your win condition and work together as a 6-man squad.
Well, that'll do it for us today. Thank you for watching. We'll leave you with the top 5 plays of the game, brought to you by the Idaho Army National Guard, who invites you to take your impressive critical thinking skills into real time. More than 10 jobs offering a $20,000 bonus and your degree of choice paid for. Idaho Army National Guard is one of the best teams to join out there. Reach out to them on Twitch at iGuard Gaming. Thank you for watching and enjoy your top 5 plays.
Rage is not worth it. Judge, the Shatter is not
Help, but is able to heal back up as Fulcrum's going to be the first one to get onto the point. ET Flares take it, but the question is for how long?
Yeah, unfortunately, I feel like this is just a slight composition change can make such a huge difference. The Lucio is facilitating Fulcrum to do so much and take so much space. Pork, but it doesn't work out, but Illusion goes down to Bonesaw right away. Nicely done there, but I don't know if this hold's going to be broken too quickly, as the core of this group is still quite strong. Blank, though, goes in and takes out Not Doomfist, so there goes the core. And Delirious! Delirious, that was absolutely spicy! And I hope you thanked them for protecting you there.
Yeah, 7 health. He only had 7 left, and now he's going to probably get his revenge here as he's looking to pull off a sneaky tire here.
Big tire, big tire,
and
big
here
tire.
we go, right
Big
into the
tire,
back line.
big
There it
tire!
goes, a triple!
Absolutely massive, and going for more. You're bloodthirsty, Junkrat.